from Covino and Rich.
Thanks for stopping. Some night, huh?
On this very night,
Your hair is weird.
10 years ago,
I used to have side poofs, but I got them reduced. You should probably look into that.
along the same stretch of road,
You're freaking me out, lady.
in a dense fog, just like this,
No!
I saw the worst accident I ever seen.
That's a great story. It's like my friend Covino. He got hit by a brick, like a brick fell off a cement truck. It was terrible.
There was this sound,
Yeah?
like a garbage truck,
Yeah?
dropped off the Empire State Building.
I used to go to the Empire State Building all the time. I would bring girls there all the time. Back, my single days, I would take girls out, and then the top of the rock sometimes, but, sometimes it was just, really romantic. Almost as sweet as my old view of my old house, the ivory tower I used to live in. That's the kind of guy I am. Mr. Perfect is what they used to call me.
And when they finally pulled the driver's body from the twisted,
Yeah?
burning
Yeah?
wreck,
Yeah?
it looked like this.
No! Stop it, lady! You're freaking me out!
Yes, sir. That was the worst accident I ever seen.
I get off right here, lady, and you're freaking me out, and your hair is weird, and your toenails are unpainted. But thanks for the ride. Have a nice night.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
Maybe you wouldn't be so large if maybe you worked out or something. Just saying. Nothing personal.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't mind if I do.
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
You heard all about it on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
What up, everybody?
All right, happy Halloween. Welcome to the show. Halloween. Yeah, Spot's already playing tricks on us. So we'll try our best to bring some treats in the form of nonsense, art, entertainment, and life.
I don't know what happened there. What happened again?
Nonsense, entertainment, and life. That's what we do now. And treats. Uncensored, unleashed, raw and real. And for everyone checking us out for free today, what's up? It's been a minute.
Yo.
Happy Halloween. Hope you had a nice October. Let's have a great last day of the month. And I hope the kids have a good day. Hope you had a nice weekend. And we be rocking out. Let's go. Hope you had a Vasily Lomachenko, Jake Paul, Christian McCaffrey sort of weekend.
Halloween is upon us.
Halloween is upon us. It's here. We made it to another Halloween, 2022, October 31st. And I hope you had a happy Halloween weekend. Hope you enjoyed the parties.
Watched the show since last month. Probably just think you grew your hair out.
Yeah, it grows fast.
Grows fast.
Yeah.
It sucks that I got a sweet-ass haircut yesterday just to put this wig on today. Yeah. Yes.
Can I tell you? It's funny you would say that this morning.
You'll have it for
I actually
Fox.
got to wake up a little earlier, and I was like,
hair.
oh, I have a good hair day going on. Spot's
Same.
like, I got some sweet wigs. I was like, this is better, but I'm just saying it's odd that today of all days I was like, oh,
Not only that,
I had time to comb my hair.
great lengths to get a haircut because I hadn't in about a month and a half. So I really needed a haircut. On Saturday, they called me up and they're like, yeah, your guy's sick. So I was like, oh, okay. So I rescheduled for a haircut on Sunday. I walk all the way there and they're like, oh, he didn't show up today. I had tried to call, but no one was answering. I show up and he still wasn't there. Like, maybe if you want to come back later, we have an appointment. Went back later on that day, yesterday, get a haircut so I could look handsome for you today. Instead, well, bam.
I mean, it
Looks good.
Who are we? Like, who are we supposed to be? I don't even know.
I'm a surf dude with attitude.
It's perfect.
California dreaming. Got my California shirt on and my
We look like the dudes from South Park or something. I don't know who we look like.
I mean, we did talk. We said we would dress up and like.
I know.
I show up and neither of you have a costume.
You know why,
and
though?
I'm like, I had a bag of wigs
Here's what happened.
that I have here every day.
As I tried to downsize in life, right, when I was moving around, moving all over the place, I had bins of costumes, bins of wigs, bins of stupid things I've been throughout the years from all the parties we've done and all the things I did with Melody and shit like that. And I just sent it all to my parents' house or something like that. I'm like, I don't want this shit. Throw this in your attic so that people could rummage and take. Like if Tommy wants to be Elvez or Jafar or some shit, he can have those costumes. I just wanted them out of my face. I didn't have the space for them. So I have nothing at home. The only thing I have home is a Karate Kid gi. Like a Miyagi-Do gi.
You wore that.
Yeah, I don't like Miyagi-Do.
Cobra Kai.
If it was Cobra Kai, I'd wear it.
You could have borrowed Rich. You have the Cobra Kai one, right?
People are wondering why Spot travels with a bag of wigs.
What do you mean travel? I leave it here.
Do you
never
is
know.
it part of your new life?
Yeah.
Put on this one.
Oh, man. I thought this was feeling weird.
I go out and if this way people don't, when you're polyamorous, you can't have people recognize you in different scenarios. So I wear wigs in different locations.
What if people watching for free had no idea of the new Spotty news? And they're like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Yeah. Lots of new people here today. We've been having lots of fun. Uncensored, unleashed, raw and real. And again, hope you had a nice weekend.
Dudes.
Let's have a kick-ass week. Let's have a kick-ass end of the month, start of the new month. My daughter's birthday's on Wednesday. So I'm excited about that. Actually, this week for me personally is a big week because I start 50-50. I've never done 50-50.
Custody.
Yeah. So,
Never?
From week to week. Well, during the
did it over the
summertime.
summer, yeah.
Summertime, yeah. I mean, but like officially, right?
Like this is the new moving forward, like you're a 50-50 parent.
Yeah. And what
Like
allows
Tom
me,
and Giselle.
Yeah. Yeah. It was always like 60-40 kind of thing. So not that big of a deal. Just less back and forth, less pressure on my kid. Hopefully better for everybody. Because then I don't have to fucking leave all the time. I can just chill at home. Once she's home for the week. But I'm excited about that. Had a nice weekend. Did a whole lot of nothing, to be honest, but I needed that. Got a haircut. We talked about that. Lamped a lot. Watched some shit. Watched a lot of sports. Friday night was fun. I went out with a coworker, Rich.
Yeah, you kept asking me where to meet in between.
Yeah, he asked me that
a couple locations, and my thought was
far from in between, man, because I was like 20 minutes away.
Well, there is no in between. You know what's in between?
I said the same thing. Spot
the canyon.
Yeah, people that live, if you don't live out here, obviously most people don't.
Actually,
In between the valley, in
you
between
can
the
take
valley where we are, Woodland Hills, Sherman Oaks, Encino, Tarzana, the valley. We're valley boys.
you could have met at the top of the hill.
In between the valley and Hollywood, it's like 20 minutes or so. But when you say what's in between, nothing, because you're driving through the mountains, through the canyon.
Well,
So
what's on top of the mountain? What are we going to do?
There's
Have
that
a bonfire?
that's
No,
Starbucks where you saw the what's his face?
There's a fancy Italian restaurant, a jazz club.
Nah, it was all good.
Like you could have listened to jazz together.
Nah, it's
Could
all
have
good.
went to the jazz cafe together.
Met up with a colleague, the guy that runs Rock the Bells and Ozzy's Boneyard. So essentially my Ozzy's Boneyard boss. And, Rich and Spot get on me a lot, but it's actually really cool to talk to somebody that has the same exact interests as you. I don't get to talk boxing and fighting really with many people that know or give a shit about what I'm talking about, or music and things like that. So had a nice night on Friday night. Didn't do much, just bullshitted, had some drinks, hung out with this kid, Jay.
Jay? I don't know Jay.
Who's Jay? I
That
don't know
we've
Jay.
met through work.
Do I know Jay?
Happened to be in town. He's been with SiriusXM since the beginning on the XM side of things. So for a long ass time, but a DC guy out of XM. So we never really crossed paths.
It's
till
really
the past few years ago.
It's a really interesting thought. I know we're not the only company. I know SiriusXM's not the only company that does that, but if you have different locations, there's a very good chance there's people you've worked with for years that you never met. Like there's someone I work with right now that there's a good chance I'll never meet them. Ever. It's the truth. Why would you ever meet, if someone lives in DC and you live in LA, unless there was like, hey, I'm coming out there for business, are you ever going to meet some of the people you work with? Or I bet you there's people watching and listening right now that have worked with people for years and they'll never meet that person.
Office.
No.
That's just the way of the world today, which is why I don't necessarily think it's better I really don't. I think you gotta know your colleagues on some level. I think so.
The girl that runs Pop 2K. Not that needs much managing, but the girl that runs Pop 2K lives in D.C. So I was like, hey, when I'm in New York, am I going to see? She's like, I don't live there. I go, I guess I'll never see her. Hey, yo, bro. Dude.
I'm not saying you need to be like best friends with them, I'm
saying like, I've never met them in my life.
Yeah. Like I used to like going to work and meeting other people.
Ja.
Not necessarily the
Are
small
we just
talk.
surf dudes today?
Surf dudes and
Not necessarily the
attitudes.
small talk.
Yeah, that's the themes of today's
But,
show.
like-
With surf dudes with attitude. That's our costumes.
But I did like the working interaction, professional relationship I
way.
did once have.
I agree with someone that said if you had turned Covino's like the underlights here green, he would look like the Hulk.
Oh, let me do that.
Oh, it's Hulk hair.
Yeah, well, you sort of look like you could be the Hulk.
Asian
Smash,
Hulk.
say Hulk
The
smash.
Asian Hulk.
Asian Hulk.
Slightly vaguely Asian Hulk.
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash. I thought I was a surfer guy. Like didn't give a
No,
shit
you're Hulk
kinda
smash.
guy.
No.
Anyway, I got a wig on if you're just listening. We all do, in fact. I didn't plan on it. I had a nice little burnt orange Henley for the occasion. I had a sweet hair day too, just like Rich, but
know-
take
Get
some for
over
the
it.
team. Nah, my hair was
Why
sweet
are you
today.
justifying your
Look at
hair?
it.
Halloween.
Look at
Yeah, but
that.
it's Halloween,
Yeah, but
you weirdo.
I told you the lengths I went to get this haircut.
Show it off tomorrow then, weirdo.
Show it off on Fox Sports. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Incredible Hector is who I am, not Incredible Hulk. Thank you, Mauser and Cincy.
But
So after my dinner, I came back. I had some drinks. The one thing that sucks about
I have a
meeting
question
up
though.
with people for dinner and drinks is you can't really drink if you're driving. I don't like it. I can barely drive, period. So you add some alcohol to that. No bueno. That's the beauty of Uber and the liberation you have to just not give a shit. But that's an extra $40. Easy. Maybe 50, 60. So either way, I had a good time on
my
Friday.
first thought is, what would make you meet this guy out?
Met him every time he's been in town.
Oh no, but I'm just curious. Like, you're not one to want to like do anything, and like I've never really heard much about this guy. But you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go meet
every
Jay.
time if you reach out to me to hang, I'm not gonna be like, nah, dude, I'm too cool for you. No, that's
Yeah, but you
he's
could
like,
have very easily
yo,
been like, oh
and
man,
he's
I have
my
my
boss.
You could have said like, oh, I have my daughter or something.
Why? I don't make. You're painting a picture that doesn't exist. I don't just make excuses up to not like hang out with people that I like. That's not true. I like this dude. He's cool. We talk all the time.
Is he on the air or no? Off the air only?
Off the air? Yeah. So,
Is he younger,
so much in
younger or
common.
older?
Maybe a little younger than me. But I've met out with him pretty much every time he's been in LA since I've been working with him. So went out for a dinner. That was it. Nothing really to tell you there other than like from the sneakers the dude buys, there's a lot in common. But I feel like weird having these conversations because like it's not a spotty conversation. I want to make this very clear. It's just the dude who's doing broy things. I guess we want to make it clear. Like we had a lot in common, man. Like from the shoes and jacket he was wearing, like sweet, bro.
Oh, you're the Hulk.
To like, yo, man, you like that too? I like that too, man. Let's be friends. What?
Let's fucking mash helmets.
Yeah, what a mash. Yo, by the way, you ever think about this on a Halloween?
Matching helmets?
No, the Monster Mash, it was a graveyard smash, right? But never once in the song do they say it was a dance. So perhaps just a big time monster orgy. Caught on in a flash.
Whoa.
Yeah, probably if you really think about it.
The Monster Mash was just a bunch of people
Just a
banging.
bunch of people smashing,
Matching helmets,
mashing and smashing. Never once were they talking about dance moves. So thank you very much. Had a nice Friday. I don't know what you did on
Someone
Friday.
pointed out that I'm Googling your friend. I am, because I'm trying to think of who this dude Jay is that runs Rock the Bells. Jay Kwan came up, not him.
No. And by the way, it's not the first time we've hung out. So why wasn't it an issue the first few times I brought him up?
I don't think I've ever heard you say his name. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Probably not. But yeah, if someone reaches out, I'm not doing anything. The fuck's my excuse then? So Jordan was out. I had nothing to do. I was bored. I didn't have melody. And I was hungry.
You monster mashed.
I fucking monster mashed some helmets.
Monster mash. Where'd you end up? What place?
He's very much a hip hop guy, so I'll tell him what I told you. Or I'll tell you what I told him. I said, all right.
Is he a black guy or white guy?
White guy. I said, all right, dude. Since you run Rock the Bells and you're down with LL, Cool J. I said, name the group that included MC Search and Pete Nice. He's like, come on, bro. You don't know who the fuck you're talking to.
You have a new bromance going on.
No, it's called commonality. It's called someone that hit me with the pop goes the weasel, third base.
Okay.
I went to third base.
You went to third base with this guy?
His balls. I was like,
what the fuck is going on?
I was like,
first spot, now you? What's going on?
It's called third base.
Join the club, Rich.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You're
spreading.
like way old school, man.
Spreading like a pair of cheeks last night.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it was called third base. You know where it's by? Right next to Trejo's Tacos.
I knew I could have bet you that.
Oh, you went there?
Yeah.
I could have bet you that because
that was my suggestion.
You know how I knew he would have gone around there? Because since you're not great with directions, I think you know how to get there. So you probably said, what's in that area?
You know, assuming like 5 different wrong things in the past.
That was
8 minutes.
one of my suggestions.
Spot suggested it.
And it's like a fancy sports bar. So I thought that they would like it. I know the parking there's shit, but like it's an in between. It's a good spot.
Yeah, it was good.
It's over on Cahuenga.
Oh, Cahuenga?
If Spot would have just said, buy Trejo's Tacos, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I wasn't invited to that party.
I was driving there and I was like, Well, anyway, who cares? Went out and had a dinner with a colleague. Not that big of a fucking deal. And all weekend, I just sort of lounged around. I caught up on Love is Blind with Jordan every chance I had, right? Because that's the show right now.
I'm one behind.
Thank you, Spot.
It is amazing.
Yeah,
I have my
it's a
thought.
great
That show
social
is so
experiment.
freaking good.
It's an amazing social experiment. Not for a guy like me. I'm too superficial. I wholeheartedly admit it. There's just no fucking way.
You're too superficial. You're like
I'm cool with that. I'm superficial like Danielle Fishel.
no, you're like Batiste.
I need those Topangas. Know what I'm saying? Those Topangas.
You're like Batiste. You're like
much better.
Well,
you're like, hey, like you're like in the real world, I'd be like, she's a smoke show, and I would totally fuck her in the real world. But yeah, this is an experiment, so I'm with you, so that's cool, right?
pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I'm catching up on that show because they release them. They do it the best way. For those of you who are into watching shows on Hulu, which is everybody, Netflix, whatever series you're into, they release them in increments. I'm a bigger fan of that. So that way you can't get too far ahead, So caught up on Love is Blind. And then when Jordan would be like, I'm tired, I started watching Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities on the suggestion of Ramos that we work with at Fox.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's some fucking weird. I don't know if I love it or hate it. I can't even tell.
You should step into my cabinet of curiosities.
Bro, I don't know how curious I really am after watching this show.
Spot's got a whole kitchen.
Yo.
I do.
Cabinets.
Right, just to give it reference, Guillermo del Toro is that fat weirdo who did Pan's Labyrinth, I believe. And Pan's Labyrinth is one of my favorite movies. I think it's a fantastic movie. So great. Spot. You back me on that one?
Oh, it's visually amazing.
It's like mind blasting, bro. It's like, whoa. Pan's Labyrinth. Great movie no one talks about. I don't even talk about it because I forget.
You don't look like Keanu today, that.
Oh, but okay. So anyway, I feel like a surfer guy. So I've been watching this show. Look, Cabinet of Curiosities. I had to stop. Gabriel's like, it's great. I don't know if you're watching this, but it's like a modern day Twilight Zone, short stories. Like it's like one big movie, but it's short episodes.
But it's all creepy.
And yes. Okay. And it's perfect for the spooky season if you want to check it out tonight. But it's very much a modern day sort of Twilight Zone-ish sort of vibe. But it's so gory. It's like so unexpectedly gory. It's like, oh shit. I don't know if I could watch this. But I'm watching. I'm not like lame like you, Rich.
Oh, you're not having. I'm
not having nightmares, but I'm like, whoa!
It's not the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life.
I'm like, this is weird, and I'm trying to figure out like, here's my biggest struggle with it, right, Rich? I'm like, is there something deep? Like in Twilight Zone, they're trying to teach you a lesson. Rod Serling was like teaching you some shit at the end, right?
It's all psychological shit.
I'm like, is this symbolic? Is there more to this? and fat ass Guillermo del Toro's not telling me what I need to know here? Or is it just surface weird? You know, like, what's the deeper meaning behind this? There's something deeper here that I'm trying to figure out. But, you know, on surface level, this is just creepy as fuck. And Jordan will walk in like, what are you watching? And then she's like, she'll go to her room, and then she just hears sounds of horror in the room. Yeah.
How's that different from any other time you go in that room?
Yeah, the room next to her is just... So all weekend, I've been catching up on Love is Blind, and again, mixed with lots of sports that I'll give you the headlines on. But this Cabinet of Curiosities thing... man, if you're interested, like gory, interesting storyline that might not go anywhere, but you're like, I'll figure it out, then it's just for you because it's fucking wild.
I'll give it a shot. I like those shorts.
Me too, like Creep Show and Tales from the Hood and anything where there's short stories. Amazon Moving on the Moon. I love that shit.
Have you ever met a skinny Guillermo?
A skinny Guillermo.
No, Guillermo's are usually a little husky.
Yeah, right. I feel like Guillermo. If your parents name you Guillermo,
I mean, I know Skinny Bills.
you're just bound to be like chubby.
Skinny Billies.
It's funny you would say they're short stories, and
I love. Like you said, I'm a big fan of lots of things.
I mean,
but especially short little stories.
Love is Blind. I'm one behind. I've watched 6 of the 7 episodes, so no spoilers for the last one. But I think it's great. There's really not much to discuss other than. There's an angle that I want to get to, so hold that thought. But
please read what Cloveman said, though, Rich, about it. I agree with Covino. And, Rich, you love trending shows. This is up there. I agree with Covino. It's just plain weird. No moral to the story, just really weird.
But I like dumb horror movies that are a little gory, so this could be up my alley.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking of the fable. Like,
it's teaching about greed. And it's like, no, it's just some guy getting killed.
Exactly. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
This is a great...
I don't think there's anything to figure out.
It's a great lesson in...
but honestly, you know what inspired
me?
I feel like I could write a better story. I really do. I feel like if I had...
Bring it then.
I really do. I think I could write a better story.
I feel I feel the same way when I read the kids' bedtime stories. Sometimes I improv their books because I'm like, this is weak. I have a better passage here.
Did I ever tell you the story of the little doggy I made up in my mind that I never wrote? Little doggy, he's like, he feels like he's part of the family, like all little doggies do, like little Theo does. He's like, hey, what's up? But then he starts to realize as time goes on why he's included on everything. But then he looks into the mirror and then he realizes he's not a person. He's just a little doggy.
You should write this.
Sad, right?
It's the other story you and I came up with. Remember our other children's book?
What?
Where our other children's book is where a kid thinks... based on Emmy having nightmares that dinosaurs are going to come through our house. And you were like, it could be an imagination story where the kid thinks dinosaurs coming in their house, but at the end of the day, it's just contractors on the roof
that's
making
a good
the noises.
One. I like
yeah, we're getting next chapter of our life.
Bam!
Children's authors.
I swear to you, Rich, you're going to have this story.
I read kid books and I'm like, I could do better than this. Very few things in life.
Or how about a horror film?
Spot, I really believe
it. Very few things.
Whatever kids dream comes to reality.
Spot, I'm telling you.
I'm sure we've seen that.
Spot, there's very few things in life.
Bedtime stories?
Spot, there's very few things in life where I see someone doing something professional and I'm like, I could do better. To be honest, the first time I felt that way was when I saw someone doing radio. So my instinct was like...
This is Guillermo del Toro.
So
has a really great reputation,
do
right?
a parent show.
You're going to watch these and be like, this would have been cooler if you would have been able to write a better story along those lines. I really believe that. But he has the means to make these things happen.
I certainly could have written a better Watcher.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you know what? Who
say?
just said it? Christopher Frey. I read that book to my daughter the other day. The Pout Fish. Wasn't a bad book, but as I'm reading it, I'm like, this is, I don't know, Caldecott winner. I'm like, I feel like I could write children's books. And you know what? I might, because I need a 4th job.
Same. I don't know. Like, I did enjoy it, but I felt like I could write a better story than this.
No, very, very few times. I see so many people doing their careers, and I'm like, no way I could do what they do. But sometimes I'll read a book and I'm like, how is this published? How are there millions of copies being sold of this book where the rhyming's off or the story has no like good ending, or I don't know. I feel like a lot of times I improv Emmy's books.
You should, especially when reading The Giving Tree or The Rainbow Fish.
Oh,
but anyway,
but
get
you know
back
what?
to your short stories because I'm with you.
What I was saying about short stories, other than Love is Blind, which is fantastic. And we're going to get to
It really is.
a takeaway from Love is Blind. But when you think about all the things you have the attention span for, I was talking to a couple parents at school this morning, and actually had a pretty funny conversation with a couple of dads and a random mom. You know what all the rage is right now?
What?
And yeah, it's been the rage, but more than ever. Is that you?
Yeah, I know that guy. Who is he?
Goku.
Goku?
I'm
like
Goku. Goku.
some random anime dude?
Yeah, I know that guy though.
It's pretty.
There's a rage right now that's building up, and parents everywhere. I've heard multiple parents tell me,
I got a rager building.
yeah,
up.
I watch it without my kids. I'm like, you watch it without your kids? I'm like, I watch it with my kids, but I don't pay enough attention. But even Sarah the other day said, you know what I'm beginning to love? It's by far my favorite. And other parents at the school are talking about it like, yo, by far, Bluey.
What is it about this Bluey?
Bluey, when I tell you multiple parents like, yeah, my wife and I like,
More a fan
we
of-
feel like we watch it without the kids even.
More a fan of Bluey.
And
You knew it was coming.
did I?
I don't know.
Did I know your joke was coming?
I don't know.
No, I don't watch porn thinking I can make better porn. I don't watch action movies thinking I can come up with better plots.
I don't
but
always
I do read children's
I don't
books.
always think this. It happens sometimes.
Bluey is the fucking rage. When I tell you, you've seen them, but it's been around for a minute. But I'm saying right now you're noticing more toys. Everyone, parents all around the world are fucking loving Bluey. And just remember I said it because it's becoming more and more popular. But
Oh yeah. But it's a girl, right?
How good's pop-up croc?
No, upstairs for bedtime.
Oh, they're Australian?
Yeah, but Bluey's a girl dog,
Oh,
right?
here we
I
go.
Wasn't that the,
don't know enough of the details. Sarah
Or am I
watches with
thinking
the
of
kids.
Blue? Maybe I'm thinking of
You're
Blue.
thinking, I
from
think you might be
Blue's
thinking of
Clues.
Blue.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
So you watch this without your kids?
No. I'm telling you, I feel I'm missing it a little bit. Bluey is extremely well made. Fantastic show. That's from our buddy Freifeld. So many parents have said the same thing.
This is the one.
I know our buddy Zito's into Bluey.
He's into Bluey?
Yeah.
Makes sense because Zito likes good stuff, right? I thought there'd be more Blueys for Halloween. That's what sort of made me think of it because I saw a lot of little kids with their Bluey shit this morning at the kid parade. Bluey's the best. Christopher Frey.
Oh, Bluey is a girl.
Bluey
There's
is a
only
girl.
one.
That's
I was
from
right.
Josh.
Only one
I knew
Goku,
we
though.
talked about this. I remember talking about it. I recognized it as soon as I saw it.
But it's just one of those, like, there's 7 minutes. And we were saying this morning, I was talking to some parents where when your kid's like, can we watch one more? When one more is only 7 minutes, it's like, yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Like, it's great. Like, it's
Little cartoon. I'll tell you what, man. Any of those cartoons that are big when your kid is little just mean so much to you, and you love them even if they suck.
But I feel like when the kids were a little younger, I watched Daniel Tiger, Sesame Street, Umi Zoomy, all that shit, Bubble Guppies. But Bluey, I don't know as much apparently as everyone else, but everyone,
Where
when
does
you
it
talk to
air?
other parents, I don't even know. But you're starting to see more and more of it everywhere. And every parent you talk to, it's like, my favorite is Bluey. Apparently it's like adult humor too.
My favorite was anything that aired when Melody was at that stage, because it's just the best
The
stage.
magical time.
It's the magical time. And you realize how cute. You enter a world that always existed, but you never knew existed because you weren't in that mind frame
Yeah.
of giving a shit. And you're like, oh, yeah, Caillou, he's cool. Poco, yeah. Well, Caillou's a little dick. We know that. Poco, yo, he's the cutest. Bubble Guppies are awesome. Go, yo, Gabba Gabba, which is completely gone now. Amazing. And then you realize all the effort and thought and love that's put into Peppa Pig, whatever the fuck you're into. And you're like, wow, how cute is all of this? And then it goes away.
Bluey is a lovable and energetic blue heeler puppy who lives with her mom, dad, and little sister Bingo. She uses her limitless energy and imagination to discover, laugh, and play with all of her friends and family.
People love Bluey.
How could you not love that
People
message?
love Bluey. Peppa Pig, not so much. Because my daughter starts saying things like tomato and stabilizers and holiday.
Same with Caillou. Caillou was a little bitch, but I'm saying those things were special to you.
Yeah.
And then some program you appreciated more than others. And you're like, wow, they do a really great job.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy.
Yeah. Just to get it out of the way, I did the dad thing this morning. Emmy had her school parade for Halloween. And man, it is just it's it's fun watching all these kids get excited. And then you start thinking back to your childhood. Like, do you remember like the Halloween parade you would do?
What I remember most
you remember doing that, like marching around? Like,
kid with the terrible parents or whose religion didn't line up with Halloween that had to sit out all the time. I remember that clearly. Like, man, that sucks. I'm having so much fun right now marching. And marching. There was always a kid, though, that didn't have a costume or he wasn't allowed to do it. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to march away on your behalf, buddy, but I'll see you right after the march, all right, man?
They're doing too much witnessing.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, whatever weird religion you're into, I'm going to go march for you. Super proud. I'll wave to all the parents, but I'll come back and tell you how it was.
Thanks,
I'd always feel bad for that kid because I loved the shit out of it.
I don't know if this was a Franklin Square thing.
Now, Rich, as an adult, I'm into the Monster Mash. You know what I'm saying? The Monster Mash.
Yeah, you're mashing helmets with Jay, your new bro. You fucking
mash. Uncensored. Smash.
Did you? Is this a word that only makes sense to me when it comes to Halloween?
What did I just say?
Did they ever call like a parade like the Ragamuffin Parade?
Yeah, it's only you.
Okay, yeah. On Long Island, they did like in the whole town.
Oh, Freifeld said it too.
Well, he grew up in the same town as me.
That's definitely a word my mom uses a lot. I'll tell you that.
The Ragamuffin Parade? I don't even know what that means, but someone else hit me up on Facebook. Like an old friend was like, remember the Ragamuffin Parade?
I've heard of this. I've heard of a ragamuffin.
I mean,
But what is a Ragamuffin
Ragamuffin
Parade?
is anyone like
cat
disheveled looking.
A person, typically a child, in ragged, dirty clothes. A ragamuffin.
But why would they call the Franklin Square local Halloween parade the Ragamuffin Parade?
Because it's all kids in tattered clothes.
You know what? Possibly.
I mean, you're all in costumes.
The Halloween parade was bomb, dude.
I'm sure the 80s was big for hobo costumes.
You know what's funny? You know how Rich and Spot always paint this picture that I have no friends or anything like that?
Yeah.
Well, one of my friends, my lifelong friends.
So is he talking? This guy's got no friends.
Totally a
All imaginary friends or his new fucking Monster Mash friends.
Every once in a while.
Jay?
I'll be at
Your
my
friend Jay?
mom's house or whatever, or I'll just come across an old picture and it'll be like a picture of one of my buddies as a little kid, like dressed up in a fucking parade. And I'll say to him, like, what a fucking dork you are. I'll say worse things than that. But like, it'll be my friend with like face paint or like he's dressed like a werewolf or some shit. Like, look how fucking lame you were, bro.
You fucking loser.
'Cause that's how far back. That's how far back you go with some of these kids, man. You know, some of the kids I still talk with, I was friends with in kindergarten.
You see that meme going around where it's a bunch of kids sitting in a classroom with their plastic 80s masks on?
I love that.
So
It's like we've come a long way.
So funny.
Absolutely. You and your new friend Jay.
He's
going
not
on?
a new friend.
What happened to the show?
I've been talking to him for like 3 years, maybe.
Gotta move
2 years.
We gotta pivot once in a while.
Move to the 21st century, Rich.
Spot, I sent you just to get a little of the dad life in and out. Boom, show you a little
What
about what my day
Rich?
was like.
The Little League opening day parade or the Halloween parade?
Nothing meant more to me than the Little League parade.
Really?
When you had the Little League parade, you're holding like.
There was like a specific. Honestly, there was a specific like Little League march. Spot, can you Google that just to see if there's such a song? There was like every year was the same Little League sort of march.
Beam floating around.
Old school costumes had it looking like a classroom full of serial killers.
Ready to go on a purge.
Ready to go on a purge.
You know what that is? A room full of kids whose parents didn't love them.
Why?
That was 80s. I had that.
Those are pharmacy costumes.
I had that.
Costumes in a battle.
Yeah, exactly. My mom made my costumes.
Let's go through here. You got a Superman, you got a Smurf, you got a Raggedy Ann.
Pharmacy
you got
costumes.
is that Captain America? You got Darth Vader. You got Kiss in the background.
Bro.
This is
First
love.
of all, I'm not saying that this didn't exist. That was very much the scene, obviously, in the 80s, probably
I had
late
that- I had
70s,
one of
80s.
those.
But come on, dude.
all-
My parents would never let me wear one of those. That would start cutting your eyes.
Yeah, if you didn't have an uncomfortable mask
No,
that
I
had
never had that
a elastic that always broke,
My mom wouldn't allow it.
and that was just very uncomfortable and sweaty, then your parents didn't love you.
Nah, my
Bro,
mom made
I
me all my
had
costumes.
those were the costumes. If you're not watching on tier 2, the costumes where it was the plastic mask with the rubber band, and then it wasn't a shirt and pants. It was almost like a smock.
Yeah, so
It's like a fucking apron.
So weird.
I had the apron plastic mask.
plastic.
I had Alf. I had Hulk Hogan.
Parents didn't love you.
All the things you make fun of me for and joke
Everybody.
about now. You know how you guys always be like, oh, Rich loves Alf and Hulk Hogan? Those were two of my plastic mask Halloween costumes.
It's the equivalent of a Spirit Halloween costume.
My mom would not let me
Everyone
have
had
some
them.
cheap, weak shit like that
It
ever.
was a costume in a bag, and every parent got them.
No,
it was
not every parent. I'm
every
telling
parent.
you, those never existed in the Covino house.
No,
Promise.
your parents just loved you more.
No, I'll tell you what. Remember
least
when
once.
my dad bought me a Kent bike? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember the story? What did my mom do? I'm not letting my Steven ride this piece of shit.
You're spoiled. Look at how you
She
turn
fucking
out.
drove me back to buy a sweet ass fucking bike. My mom would have never let me
your
rock some
dad did
pharmacy outfit like that.
Your dad did make you a vending machine costume.
Yeah, everything was handmade. That was like a improv costume.
My
that
mom
dad
did
made.
hand make a lot of costumes.
God, you're spoiled, huh?
By the way, I'm not saying that every other kid didn't rock those. Of course they did. Of course they did. I remember my Uncle Joey was the Incredible Hulk.
My first costume where I felt proud of, where I was like, yo, this is badass. Because I had pharmacy costumes my whole life. I was probably a Smurf, a Hulk Hogan, Alf, anything with a plastic rubber band, shitty mask. When I was in, I'm pretty sure, like 6th or 7th grade, I got the rubber Freddy Krueger mask with the claw. And I had like the striped sweater. And I thought I was the coolest motherfucker there was.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a cool costume. Yeah. Look at this. People chiming in. My mom loved me. I never had a pharmacy costume. Well,
I didn't, man.
I guess
my mom would never. She had to make. She took so much pride in making.
yeah,
all
I'm gonna
that
call
shit.
my mom today and be like, I guess she never loved me. What?
Did your mom or did your dad make the vending machine?
My dad made. My mom and dad, but my dad did that one. Yeah, but I was older then. Well, not much older. I'm probably like at least 12 though.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
Did your mom make the pumpkin?
Yeah, she did.
She made that?
Yeah, she made that.
That's insane.
Yeah, she made that for my sister
10.
Grace and my Aunt Googie. Had a big
Man,
one.
10 had skills.
Yeah, she made that handmade.
Did she make your dad's hat?
No, you know, like I said this the last time you
It's an
showed this
authentic
photo.
sombrero from Mexico City.
That was just a sombrero that just lied around the house, and that blanket was our blanket.
Oh, right.
So my dad just,
I guess I'll be a some type of Mexican.
no, he just did that for the photo. My dad didn't go out like that.
Yeah,
Cut a hole in this blanket.
I walked the neighborhood like this.
Yeah, Mexican.
Did you cut a hole in my blanket?
Nah,
What do you want me to do?
The only thing that sucked about that outfit is I didn't get to, I had no arm access, but I was a full-on S&H vending soda machine.
Oh my God! I
where
didn't
did-
realize
where
that
did you-
there
where
are
did you do
no
your
arms.
arms?
They're just in the box.
They didn't cut holes to put your arms
Nah,
out? Why not?
Authentic, man. I was a soda machine.
Yeah, but like, even...
Dude, it was a box for Halloween.
But if you really want to be
box for
specific, I was a
Halloween.
very 1980s soda machine.
By the way,
Right.
how'd they get that? Is that like wrapping paper? How'd they get that wood grain look? That's so impressive.
My dad would refurbish. You know what people would do to soda machines, right? Kick the shit out of them when they didn't work. So my dad would, either spray paint them and fix them, or he would just put that paper over them.
How did you you can't, what did you do?
Spot, just so you know,
had a
there's
bag
a
underneath.
random vending machine in Union somewhere missing parts for Covino's Halloween costume.
My dad had those parts all over the place.
It's actually functioning. It was very impressive.
I heard the word coin mech my entire childhood, like every fucking day.
By the way, is it true? Is it true? Is it true that if you clenched a can of dry between your butt cheeks, and if someone pressed the button, you just let it go,
Yeah, just, to make it seem real.
and it just dropped out of the bottom?
Yeah, if you're not watching, again, you should be. It's free today. But if you're not watching, that was a soda machine back in the 80s.
Man,
Oh
classic.
man, good.
My
times.
parents made all my costumes. I'm only joking, of course. I'm sure your parents loved you. It's just my mom would never allow me to wear that shit. And Jerry Seinfeld does a really funny
You know
bit
why?
on those costumes. He said because those rubber bands would always snap.
Yeah.
And then they'd get tighter and tighter because you'd be readjusting it until the fucking things are like cutting your eyelids open.
Slicing your eyelids open.
Because the mask got so tight because it kept breaking.
You know what it was? Your mother loved your face so much she didn't want to cover it.
Yeah. I mean, look, as a kid, I probably wanted those costumes. My mom just wouldn't let me. That's the truth. I probably wanted those cheapos. My cousins would rock those cheapos.
Big Steve, hustler, good for him with the vending machine. Yeah.
Very much. That's my dad. That's the essence of my dad for sure. Big time hustler.
Did you like sit down and put your head in it, and then when someone came by, scared them, and popped your head on the top?
I should have won the Halloween costume contest, but this fucking fat kid named Darren won as an Ewok.
You remember his name because you're still upset about it.
It was weird. He wasn't even a
Fucking
costume.
Darren!
He just took his shirt off.
Well, you know why I was mad?
Little fat Darren with his hairy chest.
He won a trophy for the Halloween costume at the YMCA.
He was only
I
10.
got a little shitty pumpkin. I was proud of it though. I was proud of it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and that's when I learned about politics. I was like, because Darren's mom's involved. That's why
what
he
he learned.
won. I wish you'd be involved, Mom and Dad. You guys are busy working all the time. So that's
I'm
where I
putting
learned.
food on the table, Steven.
You know what? I'm gonna write a cabinet of curiosities about it.
Oh, about how.
Yeah. And then
Darren won?
and then at the end, I just killed Darren. Oh. And then there's no explanation.
Why do you need it?
Yeah. That's my story. I'm gonna write it tonight.
A story of envy and jealousy.
There it is. You figure it out.
Hey, Spot, I just sent to your text message, your personal message.
Whoa!
I think Covino's best costume, if you ask me.
I mean,
better than the vending machine.
If this is the stupid same photo you always pull up,
I mean, it has to be.
I want to punch you in the nuts.
No,
it is. I know it's coming.
The best picture of Covino, best Halloween ever. Not the vending machine. Not when you were Prince. Not when you were Jafar. Not when you had all these cool costumes with your ex or your daughter.
I was Jafar Noir because I sprayed the cologne. I was like, smelled real good. I was like, yes. Come here, Jasmine. Want to take a sniff?
So yeah, here's your best one.
I know. How did I know? How did I know? You know, I have to explain. Here's the worst part about it.
No, best costume ever. No explanation. You can't.
I always have to explain that those are not my teeth. Fucking nimwits always ask about that.
Wait, do you really have to explain that?
Yes. Like, because I don't often smile unless it's a real smile. Or, let's say previously in a previous life, before we streamed all the time, a lot of people didn't know what we really looked like all the time, only in photos,
Smile
right?
real quick. Turn to the side. No, I think those are your teeth.
No, those are your teeth.
Yeah, those are definitely your teeth.
Yo, when did you get work done?
Yeah,
I
those are
had
definitely
these
your teeth.
fake ass
don't
teeth
lie.
that I had.
No, your veneers look good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Fucking
People don't realize those are Covino's real teeth.
Picture never goes away. That one.
It's a great one.
The man witch.
And Spot, I just sent you another one.
here's a
I
good
actually.
Here's Rich's.
Look at that.
That's a good one.
I never even know that picture existed. That's me as Ace Ventura.
Rich's Ace Ventura.
No, I didn't know I had like a full head to toe.
I
Like,
know that picture. How do you not know that picture?
Ace Ventura is a good one. Spot, I won a Halloween costume as Sookie Stackhouse. I sent you that one too. I just sent that to your text. For some reason, I can't text our number.
Low signal today, I guess.
I don't know.
Well, it is Halloween. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Rich loves short stories. So do I. You know what else I like? I was thinking about the other day. I was talking to my puppy. If you haven't joined us in a minute, I have a puppy now. His name is Theo. We bought him in Bakersfield, California, so I wanted to name him Fieldy because that's where corn is from. But I lost that battle. His name is Theo.
Juice. He's got the juice.
Anyway, I was talking
I
to
can
Theo.
see why
the other
also.
day.
Because didn't your ex name her dogs after the band Korn?
Monkey, yes.
So I
But
could see where.
Fieldy. Perfect.
Yeah.
Lost that.
New start.
Theo. So I was hanging with Theo the other day. We hang pretty hard, I'm not going to lie. Oh, there he is.
Stackhouse.
The winner.
Don't get too turned on, everybody.
I'm sure there was a grown-up soda machine there.
Are those
pretty
your-
angry
are those-
that this guy won.
Rich, are those real?
What? My
The-
titties or the True Bloods?
No, the True Bloods.
Oh, yeah, True, yeah. I actually won $500, not in art lessons. I went to a bar and I won $500. I won the costume
That's
contest.
incredible. That's good stuff. That was good. No, that was good. We
So-
used to throw some good Swallow Schween parties. We really did. The Swallow Schween parties were a lot of fun.
they were a blast.
Anyway,
They were really good. Our
Man.
Halloween parties always
we
ended with some type of
had
shenanigans.
enough support and people to
I've done things.
like fill up a club in New York City.
I knew then
all
what
of
I
our
do
listeners
now.
and friends, and man, that shit was fun, dude. Looking back, it was really fun. There I am as the man witch.
Great costume. Honestly, your man witch was legendary.
I mean, Sammy J's Ollie G.
Oh man.
Our intern at the time, Bildo.
What is he?
He was Howard Stern, the king of all media.
Oh, I get
Rich
it.
was Ace Ventura.
It's good Ace Ventura, Rich.
Thanks, bud.
Anyway, I was talking to Theo the puppy, and I was like, "Hello, what? Hello, Gromit." I went, "Hello, Gromit," and I said, "Jordan, you even know who that is?" No. I'm like, "You know Wallace and Gromit?" She's like, "Yeah, are they like claymation guys?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Here's something you don't know about me. I like claymation. I do." So short stories, claymation. Now you know a little more about this guy, Steve Covino. I love me some claymation. The end. That's my story.
Now, I said before we get to Love is Blind, we have a friend in need, a relationship friend in need. We'll talk about some of the stuff you did this weekend. But I sent Spot one more. Someone said, what was the last time you like dressed up? And you know what? It's been a minute.
Same.
And
I've never dressed up with Jordan ever. You would think I would have since she's a lot younger than me.
yeah, I hate the fact that I'm on a slump of no Halloween. I know COVID killed a couple of years of parties and events and shit like that. I went trick-or-treating with the kids every year, even during COVID, but we never went to like parties and events and stuff like that.
I was supposed to go to a party this past weekend, and then we didn't end up going.
Oh, the potty party?
The potty party. I'm so annoyed.
But no,
I broke out all my old costumes and wigs.
We were big into Halloween, and you know what? I'm okay reinvestigating that. If starting like next year, we're like, all right, we're fucking way beyond COVID.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're let's fucking do it. Let's have a big Halloween party.
Fun.
Yeah, I hate that we had to take a little break. I'll blame COVID for half of it.
Let's do
COVID
things.
Definitely stopped a lot of momentum.
I'll blame COVID for half of it. You know what I'll also blame, though? I'll also blame having little kids and you start trick-or-treating and you're like, oh, shit, that's right. I want to have fun, too.
Yeah, but I always dressed up with Melody.
That's true.
So I'm surprised you haven't.
That is true.
But we could have there's a whole weekend of things to do.
Is the last time I dressed up, was it really Sarah and I when we were in San Diego and she was...
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
I texted it to your personal.
No, I know.
I think the last time I dressed up was 2019 when I was Martian Mathers. Kendrick Lamar's. Remember I was a rapping alien?
Oh, right. Yeah.
That might have been one of your lamest.
Oh, you want to see it?
You wore like an Adidas jumpsuit and a fucking alien mask and you said you were like a rapping alien.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was a last minute bomb.
According to you?
No.
You had a fucking alien mask on and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go rap an alien.
I was Ghost Space Killer, bro.
No, stop.
Ghost Space Killer.
I'll give you credit. Your puns are funny. The costume's awful.
She was La Llorona.
Yo, bro, your puns, 10 out of 10.
She had
your costume, 2 out of 10.
I'm looking back.
Puns, home run.
That same year, you and I were
costume, a dribbler to the pitcher.
You and I were Slater and Zach.
Oh fuck, we've dressed up recently. What the fuck am I talking about? We were Zach and Slater. We were Buzz Lightyear and Woody. We've dressed up.
Yeah, but that was that was
2019.
No, but that was for work.
And that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah, no, but you know what, Spot? I forgot that even Covino and I
here's the one you sent me.
Yeah, that's Sarah and I. That was right. That was when. I remember right after we took that picture, that's when Sarah told Shannon and some of our friends that she was pregnant with Emmy. That was the end of 2016. Can you believe that?
Sarah has an eye in her face. Is that right?
No, the star. Yeah, it was like it was like Princess from Mario with the star.
It's not the first time Sarah had a star in her face. Courtesy of Rich.
But yeah, I forgot. We had some good costumes for work. Yeah, what am I thinking about? Duh. Well, anyway,
you thought Kendrick Lamar's was weak? It was pretty weak. You thought,
bro,
really? No.
Of all the things you've done, you've had elaborate costumes. You were funny as hell. This is your weakest costume of all time.
I
Get the
disagree.
fuck out of here.
I totally
think
disagree.
Slash is 10 times better than this. And you were Slash for like 5 years of our friendship.
Hey, dude, Melody liked it. I went to her trunk or treat. Like, what's up? And it all makes sense. 2019 was the end of the fun.
Yeah,
so
honestly,
that's where we got lazy.
You and I were the last thing you and I were.
I think I was Jason.
Johnny Lawrence.
There we are. Look,
Johnny. Yeah.
Hey, mama.
What's up, Chanel?
Look at you and I.
What's Chanel up to?
Time out. If Kelly goes to the dance with Slater, my reputation at Bayside is toast.
That acting. That acting is fantastic.
So, Zach and Slater, home run. Buzz and Woody, our stupidest, funniest costume ever. And those were both right before COVID. So I am going to blame COVID. Fuck you, COVID, because
it took
honestly,
the wind out of our sails for sure.
Honestly, we dressed up every year until COVID. So what am I talking about? It's not me or you. It's COVID.
It did get in the way.
Sickness.
COVID.
Sickness.
No, for sure.
Stupid COVID.
I like being blonde. That's funny. Yeah, Zach Morris. Today.
Yeah,
Johnny Lawrence.
You really want to be blonde.
I think I want to be blonde. I think I'm going blonde.
The worst is, by the way, the worst clip
Frost
ever.
your tips, buddy.
We were also Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do.
Yeah. Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence.
And Johnny Lawrence. So what year was that? That was
2019.
No,
that was 2020.
That was 2020.
Oh yeah,
so that was last time we didn't do anything with it because we fucking couldn't go anywhere.
And we were on Zoom at ESPN. Yeah. And the funniest part of that story is that our last show ever on ESPN before Disney and everyone cut everyone because of COVID.
Yeah.
The last time I was ever on ESPN, I was wearing, I think, this wig or a wig like this.
Because Rich loves to be blonde.
I love to be blonde. Guys, today's confession time. Spot likes women and men. I want to be blonde.
Rich secretly wants to be blonde for years.
I want to be blonde.
He's always wanted to do it.
All these revelations.
So the fucking truth is,
I look like I look like right now. I look like my Uncle Angel, like when he just woke up.
So you know what, Covino? I'm gonna
ain't no disco.
I'm gonna look at it and say it was a 2-year break, and next year we come back strong and have a Covino Rich Halloween party somewhere.
Yeah, I thought about it last night because Jordan's like, "Aren't you supposed to get dressed up for your show?" And I was like, You know, I don't have any of my. The only one I have is the one from ESPN when I was Danielson.
I could have lent you a costume.
Yeah. You know what? Next year.
I always have costumes. On
Next year, Halloween party.
Or Manwich. We'll see.
Let's do it. Halloween party, because you know what? I'll tell you what. I look back and I think of how much fun we had, from Sookie Stackhouse to Ace Ventura to
Those
Dexter.
are also different times.
To
I'm not saying
Mario.
we can't have a different kind of fun.
But I'm saying our different fun times recently. We did Cobra Kai. We did, you know, Zack and Slater. We did Buzz Lightyear and Woody. It's not like we haven't done it.
This is the worst acting ever. It really is.
Yeah.
No, it's the beginning. Yeah, that's the other one.
Oh, that's great. There's the Buzz and Woody.
Is it just the picture there?
It's just
It's not the video.
That's great.
There's a little clip of everything, but
Hey, you know what? Fun times.
that's the worst right there. Holy shit, is that terrible? Where's that outfit? I should have wore that. Bunk
You
Lightyear.
still have that?
I think I sent them all to my mom just to get them out of my face. Because my mom has it's like a costume shop in her attic. She has 5 kids and all these outfits she made.
The Balloon Brothers in her attic. It's a
It's ridiculous. Like,
Sandy's
what do you want? A
supply store?
wig? We want some clown shoes? Those aren't clown shoes. Those are my dad's platform shoes from the 70s. Like what? It's like a whole little rack of because she's made costumes for all of her kids for all those years.
Who's this again?
Oh, that's Martian Mathers.
That's the worst
Kendrick
costume.
Lamar's.
Yeah, that's great.
Come on, bro. That shit was
You
dope.
think that was cool?
It's a rapping alien.
I feel like we're all Melody when you keep telling those jokes.
Melody was
Melody's face does it
La
all.
Llorona.
No, that's her. That's
That's
her.
the last time I got dressed up, though.
That's her rolling her eyes at all your puns.
You know what? We
She's not
created
dressed up
it
in this.
together. I said, Melody, how about I be an alien? And then she's like, all right. And I'm like, all right. Well, how about I make I'm going to be a rapping alien. How about that? Future hip hop.
Yeah,
She
sure,
agreed.
Dad.
She agreed to that.
And she's like, sure.
Like, whatever you want, Dad.
Blame his
Just
customer.
don't make jokes.
Go Space Killer, bro. Go Space
No,
Killer.
stop it, Dad.
That shit was dope.
Well,
You guys are just jealous. And then before that, I was Jason.
Yeah.
I was always the guy willing to fucking wear something stupid. It's the one time a year I act the fool.
Yeah,
Now
you know,
people do
I'll
it
be
all the
honest.
time.
It's very funny because Covino, who is so hesitant to put himself out there, always has embraced Halloween. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah, Jordan said to me, "Would you wear something?" Oh, what the fuck was it? I said, well, if it was Halloween, yeah. If it was like any other day of the year, fuck no. But yeah, for Halloween, I would do it. Damn, I can't remember what it was. But it's Halloween. You're supposed to do those things.
Yeah, have fun. Like we always say, Halloween is like, you know, as an adult, if you don't embrace it, I think you've lost a little fun in your life. Because Halloween, much like your parents, we've made this analogy for a decade plus. When you're a kid, you love your parents and you love Halloween.
You know
Then
what Jordan asked me?
What?
She said, would you dress up emo? Like, eye makeup and where are you? And very emo. I'm like, yeah, fuck, not in real life. For Halloween, yes, absolutely. I've dressed a lot lamer than that. So, yeah. That
Speaking of
was it.
emo, a couple of my buddies told me that they went to the When We Were Young tour in Vegas and said it was great.
Covino.
So, yeah, I think if you lose your love of Halloween, because Halloween, when you're a kid, you love your parents and you love Halloween. Then you go through a stage where you think your parents are lame and you think Halloween's lame and you're too good for it. Then when you're an adult in your 20s, you're like, my parents are good people. I really love them. And you know what's cool too? Dressing up for Halloween. Women look sexy and guys can have fun with it. I love Halloween. So you know what? I'm glad we decided next year, 2023.
You know what I'm going to be?
The return of
I know
Halloween.
what I'm going to be. Steve the Funky Extraterrestrial. Not the funky Homo sapien. Steve the Funky Extraterrestrial. Thank you, Kevin Bush.
I think I do like myself as blonde.
I think you do.
You can wear that wig if you want. I'll
Permanently?
lend it to you.
I'm going to wear it.
I mean, it's my buddy wig, but you can have it.
Guys,
that's what that is? That's the origins of it?
My buddy wig.
You know what it was? I bought that wig. I bought that wig originally because I thought it worked. And I think I did use that for my buddy, but then I bought this because I thought the color matched better for my buddy doll. So I use this now for my buddy.
You good with that? I honestly, Spot, that's a good
matches my hair
hairstyle.
color.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought there was people that haven't seen. You know what? I might be like, oh, Spot grew out his hair.
It matches my hair color. So it could
You know what
be.
it looks like? It looks like on a regular day, you're just a guy with a bad piece. Like Spot lost his hair. He doesn't think anyone notices.
I should walk out with this in public tomorrow and see if people notice.
I think what we learned from this fucking ramble
is that Halloween's really awesome, and we can't give up on Halloween just because COVID got in the way and we got a little older.
He fucking nailed it. That's really the moral of the story.
Can't let COVID kill Halloween.
We explain.
Oh, trust me.
The
COVID
movie
didn't kill Halloween. There were plenty of people out and about this weekekend. I've seen it all on social
I'm
media.
saying over the last couple of years, Spot, where, other than work.
It's back with a vengeance.
Yeah, it's back.
Lots of those the lovely ladies that I follow are out partying.
Well, hold on. I wanted to know.
In nothing.
I don't want to switch gears completely, but Spot, you said on this show that you had like a special weekend Halloween party planned and lined up.
I was supposed to go on Thursday for it was one of Kristen's friends.
Oh, that's right. You were supposed to meet one of her male suitors. Is that a nice way to say it?
Yeah, sure. And it ended up not, because after we went to the go-kart thing on Wednesday, Kristen's had like a very bad neck pain.
Same.
I don't think it was whiplash.
I have a welt on my back.
Yeah.
No, like you know when a bruise turns like purple and yellow?
Why is it shape of a mushroom?
But you know when a bruise turns
weird.
like yellow and purple?
Yeah.
Like on my shoulder, like just from one hit. Those go-karts?
Yeah.
Fucked us all up a little bit, I think.
Actually, it feels pretty good today because I took something. My bicep tendon got activated just from doing all the turns. But she hurt her neck because remember her helmet flew off at the go-kart race.
Yeah.
You can't go to an orgy with a sore neck.
Can't go to an orgy with Sorgy with a sore neck. So she didn't feel like going.
Monster smash.
So we ended up not going. We just stayed at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Passed up on a Halloween orgy with her other lover.
One of the things I had written down was Spot's update. Because that's a juicy story.
I feel like she didn't want us to meet under the pretenses of a party either. So we'll figure it out.
You mean you as Fred Flintstone wouldn't have been like a cool way to go?
I mean, I was excited because I was gonna go to the gym, get a pump, show off my arms, but it didn't happen.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna borrow your Fred Flintstone outfit for next year. And I'm gonna be like the Italian Guido, Fred Flintstone. Fred Flintstono.
Federico Flintstono?
Federico Flintstono. And I'll be like, Yabba Gabba Goo! Hey, yo, Bonnie, let's go smash!
I was looking forward to hearing your story.
Yabba Gabba Goo!
By the way, you know how I always roll my eyes when people tag me in things that are Golden Girls related, beard related.
It's just Seinfeld with old ladies.
Harry Potter related. Mm-hmm. Seinfeld related.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did we get tagged in the Spirit Halloween Gabagool costume this weekend?
But you know what, Spot? Here's my take on that.
I mean, I love it. Here's my take. Because when people think of Gabagool, they think of us. And I think I kind of like that.
Here's my thought.
But
if people didn't tag you in things like this,
Gabagool.
Wouldn't you feel like bummed? Like, I always think about that. Like, if you did it's the equivalent of opening your inbox and having no messages. Like, you know when your phone dies, you charge it and you turn it on like 20 minutes later and you're like, oh, no messages?
I mean, that's my life.
But I'm saying I embrace it. Anyone that wants to tag me in dumb shit, I appreciate it. Because you know what the alternative is? Feeling like, oh, no one thought of me? So
I'd rather you tag me in some dumb shit like that than tag me in a photo where I look like fucking ass cheeks. Like, no thanks. No need to tag me on that. I appreciate it.
Well, before we get to friend in needs and your weekend stories, it's the lamest costume ever. Alien rapper.
Steve the Funky Extraterrestrial.
My name is Steve.
Steve.
Wow, you must have some cool exotic Martian name.
No,
my name is Steve.
Steve. So,
by the way, I'm getting to the point now, Rich, in life where I'm embarrassed by my name a little bit because I went to this place, this really like trendy breakfast spot in LA this weekend, right?
Where?
Jordan.
What was it called?
I'm not giving up my spots so some fucking weirdo can meet me there. No thanks. So it's a very punny place though. It's like,
so someone could meet you there.
Yeah, I get lots of weird emails, man. I don't need that in my life. So
someone's going to wait outside the breakfast joint for you.
Hey, why is that impossible?
That's very.
Because if they wanted to find out where you live, they can find out that.
People think I'm talking to them specifically all the time.
Oh, I know. Sunny Side Up.
So yeah, I was like, I went to Sunny Side Up, and they're like,
a little runny.
We have an order for Steve, and I'm like, and I'm surrounded by like all these like, yeah. I felt like I was 65 years old when he said
Mortimer.
Yeah, they might have because I'm hearing all the names being called too. Like, we have an order for like.
Why don't you just change your name to Steventh?
Yeah, I know. When they said Steve, right? I swear this weekend especially, and I felt like old and tired because I just woke up, right? Breakfast. Dude, they might as well have said, order for Ebenezer. And I was like, let me complain about some shit. I've been waiting here a long time. Okay, thank you, bye.
Spot, Eggs Benedicted.
Oh, good one, Rich.
Like that.
I'm trying to think of more breakfast puns.
Here, I'll tell you what it is, though. Ready?
Let's see.
Sarah and I go to the same breakfast spot every Friday morning. It's our new thing. It's our only time alone without the kids, and I fucking love it.
Is it very punny?
It's very funny.
Oh, show it. I want to see.
Oh man!
Why?
I'm gonna be upset if I didn't think of this. Where is it?
It's funny.
Oh, that's really good.
That's really good.
So I'm at this place, and I never felt like my name was older than it was this weekend. I didn't share that story with Jordan, but I felt
Party of 4 for Caleb. Here.
Yes.
All right, we got 2 for
Hunter.
Clayton. Is Clayton here? Colton. We have a Jordan with a Y.
Okay.
And
I think, yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, I was like, and I feel like everyone looked at me like, yeah, I figured he.
Did you give up my table yet?
I figured he was the Steve.
I don't know if I heard my name yet.
I felt very much like a
Steve
Steve.
with a V?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
But you know what? It is so funny because in the 80s, I thought my name was the coolest name. I really did. I had initial pillows on my bed, like SC for Steve Covino. Thought it was I could hear fucking, now batting number 22, Steve Covino.
Oh.
Number 20, I could fucking hear it. Now I just hear like, we have an old guy order for Steve.
You know what you should go by? We have a listener in Texas that I think I'm actually going to meet him and his wife at Worst Fest. I'm going to Worst Fest this coming weekend. Sarah and I booked. I'll tell you about that. We booked
Steve. The name is on the precipice of being canceled. Though,
we booked a last minute trip to Texas, and there's the listener we have that we became friendly with, Esteban. Go by Esteban.
Oh, Esteban.
So my grandma called my dad.
Yeah, it says Esteban.
Or I should go by Chulo then. By that line of thing, I'll be Chulo Covino.
Esteban.
But
Esteban.
I still like my name. Don't get it twisted. I just know how old it sounds and how it's like slowly becoming the joke. I follow social media. I know how it works, bro.
Yeah,
and
Ray.
Steve
Raymond,
is always like the name that people use nowadays for like, oh, who is he? Steve?
Well, Raymond brings up a good point. Like the name Ray, that's an old guy name too, like Ray.
Yeah.
You know the only kid's named Ray.
When it's broadcasted at this like trendy breakfast spot, it sounds like fucking lame.
I said the other day, like someone gave me a name and I was like, and I joked that like, well, that's not a young person's name. And they didn't get offended, but they were like, yeah, you're right. I met a woman at a trunk or treat thing and she's like, this and that. I'm like, her name was like Barbara or Sue or something.
Told a woman she's got an old lady's name?
No, because
this guy?
Wait, you said that to her face?
You said this to a woman's face.
You said, wow, that's an old name.
No,
That's
I
rude
said
as fuck.
to whoever I was with, I go, her name. No, I was like the family over there. That's like Barbara, Joe, and their kid. I was like, there's the kids that like with the little girl's name's not Barbara. So I was like, that's easy to remember because that's an older lady name. You know any younger girl named Barbara?
Just like you're friends with Chuck and Janet. They sound like an old couple.
Yeah, they do, right?
Chuck and Janet.
Janet may make a comeback in like 5 years because that's like a name that's probably almost ready to cycle.
I had a cousin.
Janet.
My cousin was married to someone named Janet. So to me, it's an old name.
Chuck and Janet.
Janet.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to go by Covino, Ramsey.
Just go by Covino. People think you're exotic.
He must be Hawaiian. Covino.
Yeah. Covino.
Well, we did a hell of a lot of like kid shit this weekend as far as like
Covino.
Trick or treating and trunk or treating and all this stuff. And I'll tell you what, I got to give props to Sarah because at first I doubted her. I'm like, what is she doing? Pull up my Instagram like it's a regular post. So we go to the trunk or treat at the school and Sarah was like, I volunteered our car for trunk or treat. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I was like, don't go fucking crazy if you don't have to. Like don't go nuts.
Well, the hardest part the schools have is finding volunteers for the fun stuff, but it's important.
And Sarah's like, I'll do it. And let me tell you,
Sarah Hoots.
I just know Sarah.
Sarah Hoots does not half-ass anything.
She doesn't, and I get it. I never
love her,
and I never discourage her. But like, even let's say we're having friends over for a football game or a fight night. I'm like, babe, I promise you, people will be happy if we order pizza or Spot brings a Stromboli or we order wings or we do something.
No,
but Sarah's like
saying settle for mediocre.
No. But what I'm saying is Sarah's the type that's like, no, I need to make 4 different homemade dips and this and that. I was like, yeah, but it's just our friends watching a game. Shit. But Sarah loves to go above and beyond, and I always give her props for that. But I saw her putting together like a craft in the backyard. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like the before picture is somewhere. It might be on my Facebook. The before picture of this is daunting. Like, I don't know if this is going to work. I get a call as I'm coming home from Fox on Friday. I'm rushing home to get to this trunk or treat thing. She's like, can you stop and get 20 pounds of dry ice? I'm like, where? She's like, oh, there's a deli, like a Jewish deli that sells it in the back. I was like, all right, perfect. I'll go get it. I show up at the school, and Sarah's made a trunk or treat setup that looks like almost like a whole dinosaur Jurassic Park setup where there's almost a little ramp the kids need to walk to and pull candy out of the volcano that's also smoking because it has dry ice in it. And I'll tell you what, she fucking killed it to the point where this only encourages her more. She won.
Of course she did. Look at this.
So what's she gonna do next year?
Look at this shit. Look at her standing there all proud.
With a volcano. The little kid has to walk over, stick his hand in, and the candy's in the across the little ramp.
Like Joe versus the volcano.
Someone said, look at the guy in the beginning. He looks so aggravated that his Monsters Inc. thing seemed lame.
Yeah, he's pissed that you guys won.
Yeah, look at that. That's fucking. What did you buy? Like fucking camouflage?
Isn't that pretty crazy? But yeah, no, Sarah.
Rich, you can hide in your rose bushes and
I know,
and scare people away.
Sarah nailed it. By the way, I feel like my daughter looks so much like Sarah in that picture.
Ridiculous.
Like she looks like a mini me. Jesus.
I mean, how do you not see it?
Yeah, but I mean,
I've seen it for how old is she? 5?
Yeah,
5 years, Rich.
Like, do you have eyeballs? She looks exactly like Sarah.
So what do you?
Ben's got your head.
I have a question now. What are you gonna do with this volcano she made?
Oh, we're gonna use it for trick or treaters today. We're gonna set up in front of our house. But after that, probably in the garage. She won a gift basket. She won first place. Even the school even posted like, "Congrats to our family for winning trunk or treat." Nice. I was like, all this does is just
no, those are memories you'll always remember.
It encourages Sarah to just keep doing this stuff.
What's in the basket?
You
think I could steal?
Honestly, like cocoa mix and some biscuits. Like, like nothing
biscuits.
crazy, but a cute little gift basket. But yeah, it was pretty next level. I was like, the other people were nice. They had like skeletons and a couple decorations and a bowl of candy. Sarah was like, no, we're gonna make a volcano.
That's something you'll always remember for sure.
I'm very impressed because like I saw it coming together and I didn't think it would come together.
I felt the same way. I'm like,
but she used what, that like foam, like
the foam,
filler.
the foam caulk filler that expands that you did on your door that made your door worse.
That ruined everything.
Yeah, that ruined everything.
Yeah,
and
now
then
I
she
can't
spray
shut my
painted
pantry.
it. That's pretty impressive. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
Good job,
So yeah,
Good
Sarah did that, and then this morning, to wrap up the dad life stuff, we did the trunk or treat thing on Friday. The kids had a great time. So watching little Ben, it's like that's Emmy this morning at her little school parade.
Did she dressed as?
She's Spider Girl, but she didn't have the hood up and stuff.
Spider Girl.
She loves Spider Girl. Oh, but during the trunk or treat, Emmy's like, I want to be a paleontologist because it's dinosaurs, and we're like, shit, I don't know what that word is, buddy. So she wore like Sarah's jacket and like fake glasses. I was like, all right, that's cool, and had a little clipboard. That works.
Paleontologist.
Yeah, this morning was like the kids' parade.
Ross Geller a paleontologist?
He was. But this morning was a lot of fun. Watching all the kids do their little trunk or treat thing, and then watching the kids this morning all marching around their parade. Spot, I sent you a video to Covino Rich, just of the kids marching around, and it does make you think back to when you were a kid or when Melody was a little younger. And these things are they're just a lot of fun.
Kids are proud.
They're just real, And you're right. For every kid that has a costume. There are a couple kids that you're like, they're just wearing like only a witch hat. I'm like, do their parents not care, or are their parents lazy, or I don't know.
Some of those kids really think they're that person, which is great. God, look at little Clorinth. Clorinth thinks he's the Incredible Hulk.
Like, I am the Incredible Hulk.
I saw some little boy with Emmy the whole time, and I was like, who's this little kid? It's cute, but who is he? I never heard his name. Yeah, they're just fun watching all these little kids. I don't know, like a jellyfish, right?
That's pretty cool.
An umbrella with a jellyfish.
That's obviously like Mr. Miyagi level.
They light up too at night. A lot of those.
Awesome.
I see a lot of those jellyfish.
Who's the guy running around with a tray?
That's Emmy's teacher.
Oh, what's his name? Got the unicycle guy? He's
Yeah.
been on a unicycle.
Yeah, he has a head on a platter because he's the head waiter.
Oh, he's great.
He's
I love
like,
that guy.
it's his last year teaching, and he's like, I'm going to break out a costume I used 20 years ago.
That's almost as good as being Martian Mathers.
Yeah, there's the little boy with Emmy, the little kid in the yellow outfit.
Go beat it, bro.
That little cute kid.
Transformer?
The little Transformer boy.
Oh, look at her,
He's
smitten.
inseparable with Emmy.
Oh, she's smitten.
I'm like, back off, kid.
Kick him in the face. Shit.
I was like, he's like, who's that?
Well, how progressive too. He's a transformer. That's awesome.
Former. He used to be a former. Now he's a transformer.
Now he's a transformer.
So there you go. That was my day and weekend of dad life and trick or treating and trunk or treating. And as far as Halloween goes, I saw one costume that I thought was great, and it's getting criticized because apparently Machine Gun Kelly did, quote, fake cocaine off of Megan Fox's titty. And people are like, it's a bad influence for kids. And like, yeah, it was like for a prop. For all we know, it could have been real. But I thought they were really solid.
Who hasn't done cocaine
Pam and
off a
Tommy.
titty?
Machine Gun Kelly.
How is this a stretch? He played Tommy Lee in the Dirty movie.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is,
and she's hot as nuts.
No, but I think
she
like
could easily be a
yeah,
Pam
no, but I
Anderson.
feel like the costumes match perfectly. Of course they did. I know they have money, so they could just get it made if they wanted to.
No.
They had the prop
it's
from the
not
movie.
that much of a stretch.
No, but I thought
He's
it looked good.
Long, gangly, fucking Tommy Lee type. He played Tommy Lee.
No, I know, but I thought it was good. I didn't see anyone
it
else.
was
But I'm
good.
just saying I didn't see
No,
anyone else where I was like, oh, that's great.
P. Diddy, he was the most viral this weekend as the Joker.
Yeah.
But he went into character with it. And people were like, damn, that's pretty good. Puff Daddy as the Joker.
He did play Tommy, so I guess sort of cheating. But I just thought, like, Megan Fox did a good blonde bombshell.
Jesus.
You know.
I mean, how's that a surprise? She's gorgeous.
Jesus.
I know.
But was this that party? Oh,
You know,
wasn't Maria Menounos at this party?
Maria Menounos was at that. It wasn't her party. Someone asked, were we not invited? No, I think it was like
It was a Casamigos.
It's a Casamigos party.
Yeah. It was
like a celebrity Casamigos.
Who runs that? Isn't that Randy Gerber?
Yes.
Yeah, because I saw Cindy Crawford and their daughter there with Maria.
And Randy. Randy Gerber and Cindy Crawford's party.
Damn, Jesus.
Megan Fox looks
She
fucking
is
great.
a fox.
She is a vixen.
Man, what a little spray tanner and some glistening lotions could do, huh?
Great word.
Female fox.
Man. Hey, Spot.
You want to take a what?
No, go ahead, take a phone call.
Want to take a phone call?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Let's wish
I'm
a happy
not sure,
Halloween.
I'm not
to-
sure I'm prepared for this, but
Oh, boy.
Black Adam.
Yo, Black Adam.
Keep it tight, succinct.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, buddy.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, in Mississippi, Halloween sending teachers to prison.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know if y'all saw this on the news. 6 teachers got charged with something with kids. Basically, it was a daycare. and
Where they
cut
scared the
lights
kids.
off.
Yeah, those teachers have been charged. I don't think they're going to prison, but they have been charged. I don't know what's going to happen.
Too. Yeah, they
Fired and
Y'all
charged.
saw that?
Yeah, it was horrible.
And you know what, Black Adam?
With the screen man.
Yeah,
That's
Black
terrible.
Adam. Black Adam, let me tell you something. When I saw the mugshots or the pictures of them, they're all fucking gross mutant people. And it made me think, yeah, these are the type of scumbags that would scare little kids.
Who
Spot, did you see
hire
the
these
pictures?
people to work with kids in the first place?
Spot, look up the picture of the mutant. I think
Can
you sent it
ask
to
y'all
me,
a
no?
question real quick. I ain't
Sure.
trying to cut y'all.
Sure, man. Go ahead.
I've been trying for the last 15 minutes to figure out who the hell are y'all? What are y'all dressed up as? I can't catch it.
We're surf dudes with
Nothing.
attitude.
We're nothing. We're
Nothing.
nobody.
Honestly,
No,
Black Adam.
Rich is a surf dude with attitude. Look at him. He's got a California
Yeah,
sweatshirt.
honestly, I thought about it last night, and I'm like, oh, the guys didn't mention anything, so I guess we're not dressing up.
We talked about it. Covino's Goku from
okay.
And Spot's the guy with the hairpiece.
Dragon Ball
and
Z.
yeah, he's Goku.
And Spot's a middle-aged guy with a comb over.
Spot look like a barista. I
Oh, yeah, Spot looks like Spot's a bisexual
I'm a
barista.
bisexual barista
Hey, I did.
with a piece.
A barista, bro.
He's a barista.
Hey, well, y'all have a blessed day, man. I gotta go back in, man. It's lunchtime.
All
With.
right.
Thank
Black
you.
Adam.
Go get to work.
And if you don't know what he's talking about, he's referencing this daycare where these fucking trolls were scaring these kids. Yeah, but not everybody listens all the time.
That's their
Scaring them out of their minds. These little kids at a daycare.
But Spot,
they
the
were
pictures
petrified.
of the women, I don't think we showed. They are the teachers who got arrested or charged are really the type of people you're like, what trashy mutant looking people? Did you see this or no?
It's torture, kind of. It is. I grew up very much in a family where the adults like thrived on scaring the little kids.
My dad was big on scaring me, but this is a different
I know
level.
the feeling
this
of
isn't,
feeling frightened in
yeah,
that
but
way.
this isn't teasing your kids and scaring them. This is like
This is next level.
reprimanding them.
This is next level.
Yeah, look at these. Look at these people.
They look up. Well, I mean,
Look
they're
like trash.
Yeah, sure, let's hire them. I want to hire those people.
They are mug shots.
I want to hire them to do it. I want to hire them to fucking do anything.
ugly mug.
I want to hire them to fucking clean my toilets, let alone stay with my kids.
You can't decide who decides to get into childcare.
Mississippi's finest.
You can't decide that.
Well,
MISSISSIRPPI.
Think about when we were young. I feel like all the teachers when I was in elementary school were like 90 years old and scary.
No, those are the ones that worked at the church.
No, I feel like I had a few very old teachers.
Wig is giving me a headache. It's tight.
Oh,
No,
of course.
because
I got a huge head.
This is fine. Honestly, it feels so comfortable. It's like a little head blanket.
Yeah.
Let's play a game. Show me the picture of those 4 women again.
Who would you?
No, let's play a game. But can you zoom in a little bit on them?
Okay, hang on.
We're going to play a game.
Let's play a game.
What did I just click? There.
Let's play a game. Let's see if we could do this. All right. Which of these 4 women does not have diabetes?
Bottom right.
Bottom right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Bottom right.
That was an easy game.
Yeah, it was a really easy game.
Sorry. Yeah. Snoozer.
All right, let's play another one. Which of these women doesn't have some sort of STI?
Oh.
Doesn't? Bottom left.
Trick question. They all have STIs.
There it is.
No, bottom left. No one would touch her. No one would touch her. Bottom left.
Covino got it.
All right, one more round.
Trick question.
One more round. Which of these people have 2 big dogs in their trailer that they can't control every time someone comes near?
Top left.
Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get back in here!
Definitely.
He's my baby. It's a fucking Great Dane.
All right, which one of those people? One
Okay,
more.
One more.
Which of the... Hey, Spot. Which of these 4 women pay for their Waffle House breakfast, which I love, by the way, with the loose change in their car cup holder?
Bottom left.
Oh, no.
Sure.
Top right.
Top right.
I don't know. Bottom left one looks
Definitely.
shady.
No,
bro.
top right.
All right. Well.
She definitely loves Waffle House and definitely has loose change.
Which
in her
one has
car.
the dirtiest feet? The bottom left, right?
Bottom left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Thank you.
It's a fun game.
It is. All right. Well, thank you guys.
That's someone's mother.
If I told you I'd give you $1 million.
That's a good one.
If I told you I would give you $1 million for
more.
each one of them that you went down on.
Oh, I do it. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Lisa Paraja? She had a good one. Which of these has at least 3 DUIs?
Bottom right.
Bottom right.
Yeah. She
Definitely.
definitely.
Where am I?
She definitely cannot hold her liquor. Definitely cannot hold her liquor.
Which was the last of these 4 women to drink a Mountain Dew?
Oh, wait.
I think top left.
The last.
Ooh, top left.
Top
Dad had
left.
one this morning.
Yeah, top left.
Top left.
Top left.
Yeah.
Yeah. She pees green.
You ever see the guy
Which one of these women is now with my mom's ex, Butch?
Oh. Bottom left. Bottom left. Yeah,
Bottom left. Okay.
Definitely bottom left.
All right. Well, that's a fun game.
And there it is.
Thank you, Black Adam, for bringing them up. All right. Well, thanks for all your feedback and phone calls, too. 412-267-7469 if you want to wish everybody happy Halloween, say what's up. I do want to point out, too, though, that Saturday was a wild day for sports. It really was.
Wild, baby.
And we'll talk about that on Fox Sports Radio, but I'm like, do I watch this Lomachenko fight? Do I watch this Jake Paul fight? The World Series is on. I put a little poll up.
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm serious because...
With who? Jay?
Who's Jay?
You're going to be shocked, Rich, at this. Because I said, are you watching a World Series, the Lomachenko fight, the Jake Paul fight, or going to a Halloween party? What do you think the stats were? And this is just on my social media page. It's
I don't
nothing.
know. You probably have a lot of like knuckle dragon rock guys that follow you. I'm going to say the answer was like not Halloween because they're boring. Lomachenko.
World Series, 58%.
Oh,
almost
wow.
60% chose the World Series, according to my stats on Saturday night.
I haven't watched one inning of the World Series.
Halloween party was 21%, followed by the Jake Paul fight, 15%, Lomachenko, 6%. Again, just stupid stats from my social media page at Steve Covino, but I'm like, damn, that many people were watching the World Series. It's been a great series all time up.
I watched the highlights. I watched I watched the one. I saw the Riamilto home run in the first game.
Yeah, first game was insane. You know, Phillies come from behind. They take one away. So that was big for them. But, you know, there was so much going on Saturday. I'm like, how am I going to do this?
I had a really nice night just chatting with Sarah, and Shannon stopped by.
On Saturday?
On Saturday night. So while we were just chatting, having a drink, and the kids went to sleep a little early, so it was nice. So chatting with Sarah and Shannon, and I had the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight on.
Well, that's where I'm leaning right now.
And Sarah and Shannon both knew of Anderson Silva because they both dated guys or knew of, you know, MMA stuff back in the day. And of course, Logan Paul and Jake Paul are names that people know. So we watched that, and my big takeaway is that anyone that says it's fixed, I have such a hard time thinking that you are not out of your mind.
Well, there's a fake angle, circulating on the internet of the knockdown.
It's fake though.
I don't know how they did it.
They did a fake
angle. It's just a really weird angle that
it looks like he didn't hit him.
Makes it look like he didn't hit him, but he did. And it's a quick punch, caught him off guard, knocked him down.
I thought it was great.
That put the fight away. I thought Silva was winning up until that moment.
I thought it was 50. I thought they were going to do like a draw or something.
Could have been a draw, man.
But you know what?
It was a fun fight. That's the entertainment of it. But that joy you felt watching that is the joy I feel watching any good fight because I'm invested. I know both people.
But don't tell me. Take away the fact that it was Jake Paul and Silva.
Yeah, it was great.
The showmanship and the action were top of level.
It was awesome.
So what I'm saying is when you watch, because I watched Triple G Canelo a few weeks ago.
That was a boring fight.
That was boring.
Yeah,
and I know there's exciting fights you watch, but I'm telling you, the fact that each round they were swinging defenseless.
But you go through all those boring fights to get to one of those like we witnessed this weekend.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good.
Anyone that Super Bowl sometimes is a boring fucking game.
It was good.
You're not going to get an exciting fight all the time. Styles make fights.
Why people? The fact that
was a really exciting fight. The
fact that people still downplayed Jake Paul.
It was awesome.
You can at this point.
He's tough. He's a tough kid.
He's tough. He's in shape. He's great. He's great.
And Silva was fighting great until he got caught. And he got caught.
And I was explaining, not mansplaining, but I was talking to Sarah and Sarah. We're talking about all our friends. We're saying that
Shannon
was asking why we, how in a regular prize fight, when a guy knows he's losing, and you're like, why isn't he going after it? And I'm like, because what happens when you leave yourself open, this happens, right? Oh yeah, they looked a little. They were feathery.
I might buy those.
Look, but
wearing them right now.
So you were explaining.
I was explaining why
Jake Paul didn't go on the attack right here.
No, why people usually don't go on the attack? Because when people go on the attack, they leave themselves open. Because that's the one thing I noticed, that these guys put defense aside a lot of times, and there were times where Silva or Jake Paul missed a big punch by inches, right?
Yeah.
So, and anyone that says he didn't catch that punch, you're right. There's a really great edit out there that makes it look like it was faked.
And it's circulating everywhere. And people are like, don't tell me this shit ain't rigged. I'm like, yeah, that's not the fucking punch that knocked him down. Yeah. I don't know how you got this angle. I don't know how you manipulated this clip, but he caught him with a fucking nice punch. Don't buy the hype. Mm-hmm. I saw the fight. I saw the highlight. He caught him. And it wasn't a knockout punch, but it was a fucking knock you down, caught you punch for sure. But the clip that's circulating isn't that one. Or it's just a very odd angle where it looks like he didn't even graze him. But he got him. So rigged? No. Is it impossible that these fights are rigged? No. Because there's lots of money involved. Anything's possible. But as far as entertainment value, man, it was a good one. It really was. And I totally admire both guys for what they did. Jake Paul, what he's doing is insane, right? And the levels in which he's taking this are incredible because he's taking it very serious as a boxer and promoter. Whether you like him or not, you have to applaud that.
Yeah, when you hear guys like Covino, who I'll put you in the same category, I think you know as much. Guys like Covino, Ariel Helwani, announcers, broadcasters are all in agreement that at first it was like, all right, what are these influencers doing in the ring? It's like I gave the analogy. It takes men an extra second to acknowledge, you know what? Bieber is really talented. Right? It's the same way. Like, oh, Justin Timberlake, you know what? He is legit. I think it's taking people a minute to realize, like, all right, Jake Paul is a good fighter.
Well, he's a tough kid. He's got
that
nuts.
angle, but it's clearly the first punch that gets him.
No, it's the second one. This is a weird Photoshop. I'm telling you, something happened, Spot.
See how they don't? How it looks like it
Spot.
doesn't even hit him.
Spot.
He
He
fucking
hits
lands
him.
that punch. That
See, it
right,
looks
he
like-
lands.
No,
Spot.
I was going to say the first shot.
No, the right connects.
Connects. It does.
That's a fake angle. That's a fake.
It's fake or doctored or just a weird angle that doesn't really depict what happened there because of the glove or
I'm
something.
telling you.
I don't know. Like he lands that right.
Like if you look at any legit.
He lands that right. Solid though. Like it's just solid. Landy caught you, hit your button, knocked you down. And
That's a bullshit fake. Someone doctored it, and in a world of deep fakes and fake shit,
or just in a weird angle that it appears.
I mean, I thought it was really entertaining.
It was great.
And truthfully,
and I was going to say, you got to applaud the sportsmanship of an Anderson Silva, man, who just was like, yeah, no, this dude fucking beat me. He's tough. Got to give him credit. Give credit where it's due. And, I'm going to continue fighting. And he's one of the best. He's 47. He's not in his prime. Everybody knows that.
But look at
Jake
it.
Paul tried to fight two boxers that backed down.
Yeah, backed down. Look at it from the perspective, though, of like when people still knock this guy. Like Jake Paul, fight someone real. I would love to see you, me, or any
He's getting there.
25 to 45-year-old guy get in the ring with a former MMA champion. You'd last fucking half a round.
I wouldn't even do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
It takes nuts to even do that.
He's got the balls to do it, the
Yeah.
training. He takes it really serious. You can
Yes.
tell he
Yeah.
trains every day, he says. So it's like I'm team Jake Paul as far as like I like the hype. I don't know if I like him, but I like the hype.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
It was fun as hell. That's where I was getting at this. And I'll give you an example of what he's doing. You know who fought the Lomachenko undercard? Lomachenko won. That was a big legitimate fight. Totally different fight, totally different card. Nico Ali Walsh, right? It's Muhammad Ali's grandson.
Did he lose or win?
No, he won.
Oh, okay.
But he's on TV all the time. He's under Top Rank. But he's really getting all this TV time because he's Ali's grandson. And he's good and he's entertaining and he's taking it serious.
What's the word for that doesn't sound like it's the right word?
Oh,
nepotism.
Nepotism, yeah.
Doesn't sound like the right word, but nepotism.
But he's also very good. Would he be on TV if he wasn't Ali's son? Probably not, grandson. The thing is, he's not taking super fucking difficult fights because he's learning as he goes. You know what I mean? That's a lot of boxers' trajectories. So to mock Jake Paul for doing that too is like that's not fair. You think people jump in with a Canelo Alvarez like right off the bat? No. Nico Ali Walsh is fighting a bunch of nobodies until he's ready to take that real difficult fight on.
Covino's making a really good point because when you see, I'll wrap it up with this.
They're called tomato cans.
When you see, were you ever there for Halloween?
No.
Big tomato can?
But you know how many high-level boxers fight nobodies?
That was going to be my point. My point is when you see a guy like, when you see a legit champion and his record is 52 wins and 2 losses, of those 52 wins, 30 of them were against tomato cans.
Exactly. So Nico Ali Walsh is fighting average competitors.
What's Canelo
but
Alvarez?
He's learning on the fly. He's learning on the fly, and you're seeing him get better. No one's criticizing Nico Ali Walsh. We know that these aren't really great fighters. He fought a bare-knuckle fighter this weekend. Jake Paul is fighting guys with names and that you would think should be able to beat him, and they're not able to.
I almost just randomly guessed Canelo's record. Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez.
He's lost 2 fights.
57, 2 and 2.
Oh, 2 and 2.
Of those 57 wins, I'm not saying they don't count, but probably 25 plus of those were on his come up when he was just beating guys that weren't in his league.
Yeah.
And you have to establish your record. When you see a young fighter and he's new, even a new young fighter is like 18-0, because to even get acknowledged, you have to beat up a bunch of tomato cans to prove that you're not a tomato can.
So, I mean, Jake Paul has every fucking right. This is a sport of combat.
You think Floyd Mayweather Jr. started fighting legit,
people need to keep that in mind. Yeah,
welterweights or whatever.
Let this guy learn. He's learning as he goes. He's looking better every time. He's looking better every time. It's one thing if he was just riding on that influencer sort of train. He's creating these fights, first of all. And second of all, he's taking it incredibly serious. So I think it's fun.
Oh, and when you watch the Le'Veon Bell.
And then he's trying to raise money for underpaid MMA fighters, which is another great win.
When you see a fight like the Le'Veon Bell, Uriah Hall, Jake Paul would have murdered either one of them.
Probably, yeah. Because his boxing is next level than theirs.
These guys are just still
Le'Veon Bell's pretty good though too. As a former NFL player, he could fight pretty well. He lost to Uriah Hall, so we're seeing this guy change the game a little bit, bring some fun and excitement to a fun sport. Man, it takes incredible training, incredible discipline, and he's showing that he's got what it takes to do that. Good for him.
So don't doubt him, right?
No, not at all. I like his smack talk. Nate Diaz could be next. He's calling out Canelo. He's not ready for Canelo. But he could be. He could be.
How cool would that be?
Give him some time.
Imagine he fucking knocked out Canelo
there was
or competed.
There was a video from 2018, I believe, when Jake Paul started training. He looked terrible hitting the gloves, hitting the mitts. He looked like so bad. And to see how far he's come now, and he's got legitimate power. I mean, he's knocking down and knocking out these MMA stars. Good for him, man. I thought shit was fun.
Good for you. I thought it was a lot of fun. Good weekend
I
of
enjoyed
sports.
that fight more than the Lomachenko fight. You know, so yeah, good weekend. Packed with sports. Took up most of my weekend.
Loma won by decision, right?
Yeah. I mean, he won though. I mean, it wasn't any like
close.
controversial debate or anything. No. And he'll probably fight Devin Haney next. I'll talk more about that later, but I think Jake Paul is pop culture enough where you guys could at least have a thought of your own about it.
Yeah. Jake Paul's bringing the fun. That's it. That's all you can really say. Jake Paul bringing the fun. Now, I did want to talk about Love is Blind, and I did have a friend in need. But as far as Love is Blind goes, I had a question.
It's not, though. It's not. I told you my story. It's not. I used to talk to this girl all the time, remember? And then I met her and she was like a mutant on a crutch. I was like, ooh. Based on Love is Blind, I would have been like, oh, but she's such a great person. I was like, nah, that's horse shit. You know, there's an expectation involved. You have to be sexually attracted to your
if you were on some social experiment, which by the way, I get it's a show and people sign up for it because they want to have fun or they want the attention or they're like, oh, it's a TV show. I get it. But these people are doing a lengthy experiment. It's not like you go on a dating show for a couple days and it's like, yo, I'm like internet famous. These people have committed months of their lives to an experiment.
Yeah.
It's not like not a big deal. Like if you're on the show, you're dedicating a month plus probably in these pods, then you're dating.
And you have to explain to your friends and
family
relatives.
that like, yeah, I'm going on a show where I'm going to marry someone. I'm going to get engaged before I see them. And then they live together for a month to see if they're compatible.
Yeah, but
and
honestly,
then there's the aftermath. So this is like
there's really nothing more important than trying to find that perfect person for you. So if someone approached you to say, hey, look, we're trying to find that perfect somebody for you to live the rest of your life with. That's an opportunity that if you were in a good position in life to do that, how do you turn it down? Right? Like, what's more important than your happiness with someone else and your future and your family?
I have a question.
Right? If someone approached you with that, it's hard to say no, I think.
If you were in between jobs and younger.
Exactly.
If you were in between jobs and younger, right?
Yeah. Which I'm assuming a lot of these people are to commit that sort of time.
If you were in between jobs and younger.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, you want to go on a reality show where you could find the love of your life and meet some women?
You've had no success.
You're like, you know what? Maybe I will. But the crazy part about this show is that there's always these little hangups that I have that reality shows never address. And on The Bachelor, when I used to watch back in the day, I know you watch now.
Bachelor in Paradise now.
One of my pet peeves always was if someone that was a contestant on The Bachelor had like an ex that they broke up with recently, it was like this guy's fresh out of a relationship. Is he still in love with his ex? And they would make a big deal about it. Meanwhile, the person who's the bachelor or bachelorette is dating 20 people. That'd be like you dating 20 people.
And what attractive person on these shows doesn't have a somebody they were just dealing with?
But what I'm saying is that would be like you being the bachelor, dating 20 beautiful women. Jordan was one of them. And you're like, yeah, like before you came here on this dating show, You had an ex recently? Like, did you not expect the attractive girl to have an ex recently? But they always harp on that. It bothers me. It's like, yeah, she still has someone she talks to back home. Well, you don't say. You mean attractive 25-year-old has guys hitting on her? Come on.
NW says you lost me at reality show. Still though? Like what? It's only like
20 years
sitcoms for you?
20 years into reality shows, you're still not understanding.
But he still must be lost when people say we met online. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
It's like,
really? It's a different world now.
It still bothers you. Reality TV, like it's been going on for a long ass time
My
now.
big ass takeaway is that on this show, when people enter the real world, the whole concept is love blind? And it makes you realize, yes, meeting someone not face to face, not seeing what they look like, and for weeks or a month, every day, talking for hours, you could really form an amazing bond and chemistry and connection. You absolutely could.
Yeah.
However,
I've been there. We've all been there.
However, once real life hits, it's not only about sexual chemistry. It could also be about, you're messy, I'm clean.
Right.
You're passive aggressive, I'm like fucking chill, bro. Like there's a guy in the show.
And you don't
Cole?
know that.
Is it Cole?
Until you don't know that until you experience that.
There's some dude that's like the super like, he's like cheesy, a little sleazy life of the party dude, Cole.
He looks like Good Egg Dave.
Yeah, he's like, hey, what's up? I'm Cole. And he's all fun. And the girl he ended up with, they had, quote, chemistry in the pods. But then in real life, she's like, you left your towel on the bathroom floor. And he's like, yeah, but I'm like fun time party guy. like there's so many layers I said to Spot the other day when we were talking about marriage, relationships, and his new situation and meeting people. And I was saying how for two people to genuinely feel the same way about each other is so underrated, because think of how many times you dated someone and you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. And they're like, I'm in love with you. Like, oh shit. Or times that you've been in love with a girl and she's like, yeah, not feeling it. So for two people to link up, it's trickier than you think. So when you watch a reality show and you see these people having these ridiculous emotional bonds, talking to each other for a month on the opposite side of a glass wall, talking about family, life, goals, everything, you could really connect to someone.
Yeah.
Then when you see them, you might be like, how terribly disappointing. Like, it could be something as simple as like, yo, my vanity won't allow me to like your fucking big nose.
I've connected with people strongly with people recently. But I see them and it's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Huge part of it.
Huge part
For the rest of your life, you gotta look at
you
that
could
person.
be the greatest person ever.
Isn't that the name of the show? Is that the name of the show though? Love is Blind? Then it's is it or not? Like that's the whole debate.
It's also too, what happens in Covino, I feel like you went through this a little bit too. You meet people, you talk on the apps, you text back and forth, and then you show up and they're not like what they were on their photos.
Sarah made a good point, and Sarah's pretty
not hugely different, but sometimes you're just like, what I signed up for.
I was always looking for the Adam's apple.
Listen,
right?
Sarah
I looked
looks
at them like that black kid.
Sarah's living the mom life, but she's beautiful. So I acknowledge that my wife is just a really good looking woman. But Sarah, who is in mom mode a lot of the time these days, even pointed out one of the girls on the show, like on her first in-person, like overnight date with a dude, she immediately took like all her makeup off and was like farting. And we were just like, what? Like, how could you think that the guy who's been probably fantasizing about what you look like and act like wants you on the first date to be like, I'm going to wipe off all my makeup and
Nancy,
fart.
who's talking about fucking dropping deuces in the bathtub?
Nancy was talking about dropping deuces and Cole.
Can I take a shit?
And Cole's girl, like, just such a fucking dud. And then you realize too, like, you might connect with someone emotionally in one of these quote pods, right? Know what bothered me? That was not even a storyline.
What?
They're all fucking drinking and having fun in the pool.
Yeah.
And Cole, who looks like Good Egg Dave.
Good Egg Dave.
He looks like Good Egg Dave and Cole's husband meshed up. Right? Right?
Exactly.
I was like, yeah.
Yes.
Sarah's like, it looks like Matt Ryan. It looks like Matt Ryan, but like not. I was like, but Good Egg Dave and Matt Ryan fucked.
Good Egg Dave
and Nicole's husband, Matt Ryan.
Nicole of Hits One's husband fucked. You'd get that kid Cole exactly.
But Cole's in the pool doing a cannonball, drinking a fucking margarita, and he's like, yeah. And his girl's like, yeah, I don't want to get in the pool and get wet. and everyone else is in the pool, and she's the one that's like, yeah, I'm not going to get in the water. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that alone would make me be like, oh, you're a dud. No? Dud.
It sucks because it's true. But you know what? Like, you could still love somebody as a person and then just not be attracted to them.
Of course.
And that's what happens. It doesn't make that person. Here's the thing. They try to make it, or sometimes it's perceived as that person's a bad guy because they feel that way. And it's like, no.
Hey,
how are they a bad guy?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you'd be with some fucking weak ass looking person just because you want
to prove that you have a good heart?
Yeah, exactly. Because you connected with them. I get that's the point of the show, but it's like, well, I learned that love isn't blind then.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to be, love is always blind.
Yeah. There was one guy that told his girl, like, yo, you're hot, but one of the other girls said 10 out of 10.
Oh, that was
And I was like, why would he say that?
That
And there
was
was
so rude.
And there was one other guy that he's like, yo, like, we're all about being honest, right? And he's like, yo, in the real world, like, I'm more into that type because she's like fit and, yo, she's a smoke show. But like, I found you because love is blind, right? It's like, oh, you pretty much just told her, like, yo, you're not as hot. It's a brutal show, but it's so entertaining.
It's really
fucking
interesting.
Great reality show, great social experiment.
And
I call these social experiments because
it
reality
is a social
show,
experiment.
but it's like,
it's an amazing social experiment. It really is.
Do you think you know anyone? And you could say me or Spot for all I know. Do you know anyone that would be as gushy as some of these people are before they even met? Like, oh my God, I'm in love with you. And it's like, yeah, but you never saw each other. But for a month.
Brandon from Bachelor. He's the most gushy person I've ever seen on TV in my life.
No, but I'm saying any of your friends, do you feel like Mark or Barry or me or Spot or Nico or any of our pals, your new pal Jay, your rock guy Jay?
Jay, who's Jay?
I've known Jay for a minute.
I just wonder, do you know anyone that would be able to go into the scenario and we'd be amazed? Like, what if Spot went into a pod? It's like, I'm in love. It's like, Spot, but you never saw them. How about we connected? I just wonder.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time.
Were these so unrealistic for you? These people that are like,
no, because
this girl Spot on the show that are like crying, like gushing, like I love you, I'm so madly in love with you, and it's like you talk to them for a month in a pod. However, I get it. Talking every day without seeing them, you really are focusing on what's your goals, what's your faith, what's your family, what's your this. You know,
but to me, that's just like an emotional like connection and friendship. You know, like. When you spill I've experienced this recently.
Friendship is blind.
Friendship is blind. I've experienced this recently, and a lot of times I'll go out. You have to be in the presence of someone, because even just like talking to someone on the phone does nothing for me.
There was one dude that said when the girl was snarky, he always pictured her in the pod saying it with a smile, and in real life she says it with a and he's like, it changes it completely.
Yeah, like being in the presence of someone is one thing. You feel like you're talking to each other and you're building a bond. You're looking in the person's eyes. You're feeling a chemistry, you know, and that's building. And then there's like a little bit of a physical chemistry where maybe you touch each other, you brush each other, whatever. And then kissing is my ultimate thing. Like if like at the end of a date you kiss someone and it's like a dead fish, that's gonna totally throw off the vibe. You're not gonna want to see that person again.
You know what is always interesting about the Love is Blind show, Spot?
I told him a great kisser, by the way.
By men and women?
What? Oh, yes, actually, by men and women.
So this is season 3 of the show.
Since you asked.
I'm always fascinated
I just love how proud you are.
I'm always fascinated by you love the attention, don't you?
Yeah. I was told
it's not a bad thing, but you love attention from men, women, anyway. Like, I feel like you're loving this chapter.
It's nice to be validated,
exactly,
because I feel like I've never felt validation.
You said the word validation like 20 times on your behind the velvet rope, which is why I brought it up.
It's very validating. Like no one ever validates me.
Yeah, I'm not validated very much either. To be honest,
don't you feel like you're not validated enough?
That's why I validate myself.
I need more validation.
I'm fucking serious.
So,
I'm serious.
Like
so I'm constantly validating myself because no one else validates.
It's the Leo in us.
My mom
need
does.
to be validated.
Yeah. The only person that validates me is my mom.
Oh, she loves you.
And when you're over evaluating yourself, I think people are less likely to evaluate you. That's evaluate you. You know.
What was I saying? There was there's every season. There's always someone Spot. Like these couples talk for a month without seeing each other. Then when they see each other, they immediately go on vacations to like the beach. There's always couples that immediately fuck. Sorry to be vulgar. And then there's always one couple that's like feeling it out, and they're having to hear all these other couples talk about how, yeah, we banged 4 times last night. And the one couple's always like, yeah, we're still like feeling it out. It's like they're doomed.
Cultural backgrounds play a big part in these connections too. And you could be on a verbal page together, but like lifestyles just align so differently. Like there's a guy, he's from Nigeria. Like he's Nigerian.
My dude SK?
SK's like he's Nigerian. He seems like a really disciplined, nice guy.
Yeah.
When I say disciplined, like he seems like, you know,
Very put
education,
together,
put
yeah.
together.
Like very, very,
very thought out guy.
Yeah.
And he's very Nigerian in the way he dresses, in the way he talks, the way he eats. And like culturally, I don't feel like he and this American, straight up American girl line up completely. And I'm waiting for that to crumble because I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't see this happening.
He's going to.
I feel like she's there for the TV time or something.
This dude is like, I'm going to school for my education. He's like a proud Nigerian guy that's like has his education on his mind, and he's still a younger guy. And she's like, and by the way, another factor in these dating shows, once you leave the fantasy of The Bachelor or Love is Blind or any of these dating shows,
Finances become a conversation.
Finances, because he'll be like, I'm going to school and I don't have much debt, but I'm proud that I got rid of my debt, but I'm going to school, so it's going to be a minute or so before I get this degree. And she was saying shit like,
he said, I live on a student's budget.
And she's like, well, I don't want to change my lifestyle. I have a trainer. I get coffee out every night. I get facials, massages, nails done, shopping, everything. Oh, did I leave those out?
She said, it's very expensive to be me. Something along those lines. And he's like, yeah. Well, I don't sort of live that way.
So very interesting show. If you're not watching it, honestly, it really is an interesting show. And there's one girl on the show that Sarah and I both hate, and it's the one I'm talking about. One dude in the pod was like gushing his heart out, and she's fucking doing burpees and shit.
You
like,
hate her?
Oh, we both hate her. And you know what? Our friend Shannon?
Yeah.
Our friend Shannon's like, no, who I hate? I'm like, Maven?
I don't hate her that much.
She's the worst.
I think that she's such a
She's
weird
the
match
worst.
for this very nice Nigerian guy.
I'm with you, EJ. She's in it for the clout. She's the worst.
I want to believe that she likes this
And
dude.
she thinks she's hotter than she is.
Yeah, she's not that hot. Please. Yeah, she thinks she's the shit. I'm the type to order my drink on the apps.
Yeah. I don't know how to work a coffee machine because I don't make coffee at home.
And like Nigerian guys. Like,
What is the average education of the people on these shows? I mean, some of them seem, one guy was a VP of a company. Some other woman was a real estate mogul, apparently. It's a very interesting show.
It really is.
You know what it makes you think, though? Know what it makes you think?
When anyone says it's very interesting.
Fuck anyone that doubts it or doesn't care, because it really is a fun, what you always say, Covino, not a reality show as much as a great social experiment. And if you don't like social experiments, like, hey, put a couple people that really get along without seeing each other. Then they meet each other. Then after they meet each other, then you got to think to yourself, like, there's so many factors: finances, family, priorities. There was one of the past seasons, there was a girl that was like ready to like settle down and have like a life. And the guy she ended up with was like, yeah, I'm at the club on like a Wednesday. Like, outside of that fantasy world, when reality hits, that's the story.
Yeah, it's not easy being cheesy. But I highly recommend it. Like, even my mom watches that show. My mom doesn't watch anything. And speaking of shows, and I know the impression we're probably giving off by even talking about this show.
I don't care.
But it's because you're not watching it. I promise you. If you dive into it, you have to wonder how you would feel in those situations and how rare it is to actually find love. Because like Rich said, it's extremely difficult. Yeah. And these experiments prove to me that you need more than just the connection that Spot keeps talking about. You need that physical too.
Yeah,
I think you do.
I agree with that too.
Yeah,
You know, and I don't think that makes you a bad person, which
no.
sometimes they imply, or sometimes
Like-
it seems because you're signed up for this show. Well, you learned something on the show.
What you
man, I
learned
tried
was
that.
looks matter to me.
That it matters. Maybe I'm a little too shallow, but I think that's kind of
everyone-
normal, no?
I've dealt with this too. Like, I'm very jokey and flirty and like make a lot of innuendo.
Feeling
And I
a
know
bit
people on
flirty.
this show think that I'm a little bit gross, but I do tone it down when I'm dating. But I feel like everyone thinks that everyone just wants to like bang and fuck, and that's all, you know, especially in this lifestyle. Everyone wants to just fuck, get out there and fuck. I am really about the connection, and I think people just automatically go to the sexual part thinking like, oh, he just wants to bang me. He wants to see me so he can see how hot I am and just wants to bang. It's like, no, there's more to it than that. A interaction and relationship is built on multiple facets. The intellectual, the physical, the consummate love triangle, which I always refer. Intellectual, sexual, and emotional. Those three things create
that
love.
Intangible of
physical,
how do you live? How do you live?
Without a physical...
How do you live, Spot?
Are you a fucking train wreck? Are you messy? Are you a spender? That's another big factor.
Yeah, there's one guy, Spot. Again, I feel like we're you don't need to watch. I think we just wrapped up the whole show. There's one guy, Spot. Hold on. He's like sort of like a hillbilly. Yeah. He shows up at this girl's house, and the first B-roll they show is her dad's sports cars in the driveway.
Was he wearing a Canadian tuxedo? All denim.
Kind of.
I mean, yeah, he's sort of like a very blue collar,
nice guy though.
He's a very nice guy, but he talks about like growing up. He didn't know where his next meal was coming from. He walks into this house where they're like the most opulent Israeli family, where like sports cars. Every room in their house is out of like a fucking magazine, and everyone's all put together. And it's like that's another factor. You date someone, you're like, yo, I'm in love with you. Let's meet your family. You don't know if their family's the Buxtons or if their family's like Hillbilly Jim. You don't know.
I'll tell you what, if I was Bartiz, I'd run away once I saw that fucking girl's family.
Kristen.
Wait, who's Bartiz is with?
Nancy. She got those fat Mexican parents.
Oh, the brothers. Yeah, Nancy's brother's like, yo, I don't know if I like you.
Oh, you mean Guillermo?
Yo, Nancy's got these fat...
Everyone in her
family's fat. Everyone in her family is 4'11" and fat, and they're all like, "Yo, we don't know if we like you, Vato." They're fucking dudes with like those shave size and ponytails.
They're all named Guillermo.
Yo, Vato, I don't know. Yo, we're sizing you up. And Bartiz is like, "Yo, I'm a fucking handsome, half black, half white stud who's well dressed. He is fucking.
Go on.
This guy Bartiz is put together,
very personable
and
guy.
Nancy seems cool, but Nancy's family." The mom seemed nice, but Nancy's brothers and the dad was like 4'11" with a cowboy hat. He's like, "Yo, hola!" And the brother's like, "Yo, we're sizing you up, SA. We don't know if we like you."
That shit was funny.
It was
dude.
very funny.
So funny.
Kristen was
I forgot Nancy's brothers.
The first guy that Kristen was seeing when we started this.
Yeah.
She's even still to this day was like very like attracted to him. Like they had an attraction, like a sexual attraction. You know what pushed her away though? This guy lived like a slob. Like
yeah, I think you were insinuating. I think you insinuated that Kristen dated a guy who had like none of his shit together.
He was like a
handsome dude. Was like a disaster.
Guy, whatever. But like he was a comedian. Not that means anything. But he worked at the hospital too.
But he lived like one.
Anytime she was like, I feel
you're dying. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Is that what he did?
She felt
you have you have stage 4. Joking.
Like going over to
you're fine.
Going over to his place dried up her vagina because it was just a mess. And she dealt with me for enough years with being messy. She's like, I don't need to go elsewhere to get mess. I can just stay home.
Quick, clear. Joking.
Just kidding. Oh no. He goes to do the little shocker things and like the little bang shoots out.
Yeah.
Or like shock.
The guy didn't have the respect enough to at least try to clean up.
No, he didn't realize
or make it presentable.
He didn't realize it.
Wow.
She dated Patch Adams.
Patch Adams.
Barf.
He wasn't a doctor. Honk. He wasn't a doctor.
Well, hey, you know what? That's listen, it's about the show, but the reality is it's about the concept of
I just think
dating and the concept of
doesn't make sense.
How tricky dating is. And when you think back to your single days, I think of this all the time. Every person you dated, you know what happened? One of you didn't like each other as much as the other. And you know, when you met your spouse or your serious partner, when you both are like, oh, wow, we both equally like each other, which the rarity of that is fascinating. Spot, you're noticing it now that you're in your open marriage where you're meeting people. You've told me where there's girls that were telling you, I'm falling in love with you. And you're like, whoa. And then there's other girls that you're hitting up and they're like, yo, she ghosted me. For two people to be on the same page is not easy. Spot, I promise you, there's gonna be more women you meet that fall in love with you, and you're gonna have to fucking be like, dude, you're gonna break hearts, and your heart's gonna be broken.
The other girl I was starting to see, she's like, you're coming on too strong. This isn't what I want right now in my life.
Hurt your feelings, I bet.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, you didn't make it clear what you want. I'm like, I'm sorry. We went on one date, and I texted you a bunch of times.
I mean, you don't know someone that well. it's very easy to be like, well, then fuck you then. Right? Like,
I mean,
like, Spot, if some girl dished you or hurt your feelings and you know her for like a week, isn't your instinct like, well, then fuck you?
It's like, fine, I'll find, I mean, it's harder to find someone else. Well, I'll find someone else, fine. But like, it shouldn't be this hard, this up front, this early on. I always say that.
Yeah.
Like, dating should be fun. Relationships are hard. Dating is easy. Relationships are hard.
Yeah,
I saw probably one of the hardest conversations on the show, believe it or not, on this stupid fucking show. They love each other, lovey-dovey, and something they never talked about in real life was like, well, what if I have a kid? What if I'm pregnant with a kid that has a disability? Are you okay aborting it?
That was a great conversation. Not a great.
Like,
it was a.
But for TV,
It was a sad. It was a sad. It was a sad conversation.
It was like one of those real conversations.
Yeah,
it's a very
that no
deep
one wants
combo.
to have. Like when things are great, right? It's like, well, what would you do if we found out I was pregnant and something was wrong with the baby?
I thought that was
She's
a
like,
super.
I couldn't live with that. And he's like, I would never abort the baby. I'm ready, mentally ready for anything.
I thought that was
And
a great
like,
real conversation.
That awkward as hell. I've never seen a conversation like that on TV. I haven't. Not on a silly, you think in a silly dating show, it's like, well, these are important conversations you should probably have, right? They're just not easy conversations to have. So it's definitely worth the watch.
Know what I find funny too?
Hold on.
Yeah.
These are also things that you might think about it. If you were really like vibing physically with someone or like you had that physical connection, you might overlook certain things.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, like,
no, of course, so many people overlook things because they're in the moment of lust.
Yeah. But that sometimes that carries you far enough where you can then together work past the emotional part.
You know what?
And not having that is difficult or will change the dynamic of the relationship, which is the point of the show.
True. I think that sums it up. The end. Great show. Great show.
What was your friend in
now.
need? No, you'll like it. Yeah. It's on Netflix, guys, when you're done watching Cabinet of Curiosities.
I did finish The Mole. It was all right.
Okay.
It was good.
What was your friend in need?
Oh, Friend in Need was also relationship based. So if you want to mix it up with something else, so we could keep going with the relationships.
No, look at the time. Get into it. You promised it.
Oh, time is flying.
Time's flying on this Halloween. I will give 2 shout-outs, though, while we get ready for our friend in need. Shout out to Jaime and Casey of Modelo for Jaime.
Yeah.
Jaime and Casey, their announcement, their love has brought them to a point where they're expecting now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo! They said after trying for 15 years.
Amazing, right?
They're pregnant and expecting. So Jaime and Casey, congratulations.
And I've had this written down. I've been meaning to say congratulations to Spotty, Chuck, what the fuck, who had a beautiful baby.
I checked in with him just the other day to ask him how fatherhood was going, and he has a beautiful picture of him holding his baby girl.
So Chuck and Katie, congratulations to you guys too, and Uncle Kevin K. Diddy. We're all happy for you.
I assume they all live together, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
That's a sitcom.
So that
right?
is a sitcom.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll break it up real quick. Since we're talking about all these shows, I sent you, speaking of sitcoms, I thought this was kind of funny because it's kind of how I feel, even though it's not completely accurate.
Their buddy Bobby, who's Korean.
Speaking of TV shows, before we get into our friend in need, Rich, Spot, pull up that clip of every show is pretty much Seinfeld. All the shows that you grew up with are pretty much Seinfeld.
Oh.
And I kind of feel that way. And that's why I really had no interest in them growing up. Again, this is coming from having zero perspective, too. Like, I didn't watch these shows because that's kind of how I felt.
Okay.
Like, I watched Seinfeld, but then I saw these shows like, yeah, it's all kind of like the same thing with different people.
Well, Spot pulls that up. My one last observation about Love is Blind, and any reality show for that matter, is I think all the parents will relate to me the most with this statement. Everyone that's good looking in their 20s on these shows that really doesn't have much money all talk about how they want to have all these kids. And I'm like, it's so funny to watch people in over their head. Like all these like 25-year-olds on dating shows. Like, yeah, I want to have like 5 kids. And
you know what I want to know?
And they have no jobs.
I want to know how
like,
Nancy bought a house for $150,000 but rents it for $9,000 a month.
Thought the same thing.
What
Like,
fucking business plan is that? I want to fucking contact her right away and be like, yo, where are you flipping and how are you renting?
I don't understand real estate
You
at all.
spent $150,000 on this house
And then she talks about how she could probably rent it between $6,000 and $9,000. I'm like, $6,000 and $9,000 for rent? That's like a New York City
a lot of times.
high-rise.
Like, what planet?
Where in Dallas? They're all in Dallas.
$9,000 a month for this little house.
No, these are those real estate schemes you see on Instagram. Where
Yeah, I
it's
think
like,
Nancy's full of shit.
Oh, you put in a certain amount of money,
She's
and then
full of
you borrow against it, and then you use that money to purchase another property.
Yo, if
Or now
Nancy-
you have
if
two
Nancy-
properties,
if Nancy-
and then you apply for Section 8 housing, and then you can do
if
this,
Nancy-
and then you can rent it at this
Dude,
much,
we
and the
get it.
government will subsidize it. It's like
If Nancy was balling,
$9,000 a month to rent.
if
Get
Nancy
outta here.
was balling that much, her fucking fat cholo brothers wouldn't be in the backyard on like metal chairs, being like, "Yo, what's it, bro? Yo, we don't trust you, SA Martins."
Horse shit.
I have a clip.
Yeah.
By the way, before we go, has anyone gotten used to us just having this hair now?
I think I
feel good about it.
I
feel like Raven from Love Is Blind.
I'm like looking at all of us, and I'm like, this just seems normal and natural to me. Like I wouldn't think we're wearing wigs, and it feels so comfortable. Here's the sign.
I feel like your old pal from K-Rock, Kane.
Yeah, you look like Kane.
I said that. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, K-Rock 92.3? It's Kane.
Since we're talking TV, wrapping it up.
Who's that handsome
I'll
Gabe?
Make it real simple. You got Seinfeld, and then you have Seinfeld, but with slightly more attractive people. And then you have Seinfeld, but with gay and attractive people. And then you have Seinfeld, but it's fancy, I think. I don't know. I haven't watched this one. Then you got Seinfeld for nerds, Seinfeld for stoners, Seinfeld for old and queer people, Seinfeld for millennials, Seinfeld but at school, Seinfeld but at a bar, Seinfeld but at a hospital. And there is no further nuance necessary. That's it. That's all.
I kind of like agree with that.
It's not
but again,
it's all Seinfeld.
Coming from someone who didn't watch any of those shows, I'm like, yeah, I saw Seinfeld here and there. I'm good with that.
Because they're all sitcoms.
They're all
That's not
It's Seinfeld for
They're
this, Seinfeld for
nothing
that,
like-
Seinfeld for that, Seinfeld for that.
No.
Kind of how I feel.
No.
I knew you would disagree.
It's such a horrible take.
It's
That's
how
a
I feel.
shit take.
How I feel. That's why you asked me why I watched none of those shows.
That's not a take. That's a not take.
I never watched any of those shows. Any of them. It's the worst. Frasier is Seinfeld for but fancy.
No.
Yeah, Frasier's fancy Seinfeld.
That's it.
Golden Girls, old lady Seinfeld.
Old lady Seinfeld.
Scrubs? Oh, Seinfeld at a hospital.
Hospital Seinfeld.
No.
Yeah, that 70s show, 70s Seinfeld.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Frasier is two brothers whose two
just
sassy
shit.
brothers
Cheers, Seinfeld at a
whose
bar.
old rough dad moves in. They have
I'm
a
with you, I'm
sassy
with you.
British housekeeper.
Golden Girls,
her,
Seinfeld for old
maid
people, a little
nurse.
queer. There
And
it
then
is.
the Roz, the producer.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
But again, it's coming from my ignorance tells me exactly what he says.
Yeah.
So that's therefore I'm not interested,
right.
even though I know it can't be true, but I feel like it is.
Still funny though.
Yeah.
Speaking of radio hosts, I saw it when I was loading up YouTube today. I saw a trailer for our buddy Mel Gibson's going to be starring as a radio host in a new thriller.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up too. Because there's not a lot of rando news
There
that
really
doesn't
isn't.
include sports and Kanye, right?
Still, huh?
Yeah. Oh God. And is it true he's doing something with Elon
Skechers?
Musk?
Oh.
Is that true or rumor? Either way.
You know, but I will say this though. I looked at the comments on a lot of Kanye stuff. There's still a lot of people that are 100% behind him and think what he's saying has legitimacy. So it's while the world is canceling him, quote unquote, canceling him, he has a lot of random support. A lot of people like find something deeper in what he's saying. And I find that peculiar that someone would co-sign anything Kanye says after all the, Jewish comments, right?
On the flip side, and I don't want to get too deep on that, but if a lot of what he's saying is, Jewish people control everything. Well, I mean, what are we going to do? Be mad at them for being successful and being of good people who worked hard to get there? Like, what are you supposed to do about that? How do you balance that out? There are people that have a different set of values that push them ahead of other cultures. Good for them. We applaud that, right? How do you fix that? Anyway, work harder is how you get there, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But a news story that I've been meaning to bring up that I haven't brought up is there was this guy who fucking died on the air.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been waiting to just, I don't know, talk about it here. Waiting to play the clip. I don't know if you want to pull up the article spot. You can find it anywhere.
I mean, it is wild. I mean, we always said that that's the way to go, I suppose, right? I always feel like Cousin Brucey's going to die in the air when he's like 100. And that would be the ultimate way to go, right?
Yeah, well, the ultimate ways to go for us, it might be that way. I always joked, Spot, if you're gonna die, like die here for sure. Like
Thanks.
ratings, you know.
Well, now I can't.
Like it's like the guy.
This guy did it.
Remember the guy who bowled the 300? Like he waited his whole life to bowl 300 and he died like celebrating.
This guy,
or like Elvis on the bowl. Like there's better ways.
This guy looked he was only 55.
He was only 55.
And had a heart attack.
Yeah.
But
could have been your fate if you didn't check yourself.
I told you. Yeah.
Bill Wyman, born in 1936, making him 86. That's an awful lot of candles to blow out today.
Was that it?
Read that.
He died an hour into his popular breakfast show.
He was hosting his show on Radio Gen X when his broadcast suddenly cut mid-song and he's not heard from again. There it is. Just cut mid-song. Shortly after his suspected heart attack, the radio station tweeted out the sad news. So he didn't die speaking.
Oh,
yeah. It was with the heaviest of hearts.
bummer.
By the way, not good choice of words for someone who died of a heart attack. It was with the heaviest of hearts that I have to inform you our dear friend and breakfast host, Tim Go, was passed away this morning whilst presenting his program. Our love to his family, son, sister, brother, and mom. Tim was doing what he loved. He was 55 years old. Rip, buddy.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, doing what he loved. Young, that sucks, but
so young.
Kind of interesting.
Damn.
You know?
Man.
Like, wow.
Heart
so
attacks.
Be careful.
Heart attack.
Silent killers.
Heart attack. All right. So, friend in need is a friend indeed. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Get your heart checked
on this Halloween 2022.
When's the last time you guys went to a doctor?
For like a physical? Yeah. Probably before COVID, I'm due.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years, but I feel like I've been to the doctor a few times.
It's free once a year.
Yeah, no, I know. It's, no, I went once with a mask on. And it wasn't Halloween, so it was during, I think I got a physical during COVID. Like maybe in the first year or something. But yeah, no, honestly, if you have medical insurance, why not do your annual physical? I should listen to my own advice. Friend in need is simple.
And Olivia Newton-John.
I should listen to my own advice. All right, my friend in need is simple. No, we don't need, give me any name. I just saw a text message.
Steve?
Nah, it's an old guy name. Bartiz. Bartiz hit me up. And
sure you don't want to get to this tomorrow?
You know what?
Well, give us the hint.
Is it Halloween related?
No, it's not Halloween related.
So let's
but
do it tomorrow.
Yeah, set it up.
I can give you a little setup. It has to do with when your significant other says, if this ever happens, just tell me. Do you always tell them?
I mean, that's very specific.
Yeah, I'm going to need a
So I'm going to have
example.
to,
Okay.
before we hear the example tomorrow.
I'll give you the example. I'll give you the example now so you can marinate on it.
Oh, okay.
Marinate on it.
I'm going to have to say, if
ruminate
if
on
it's
it.
so
Let it
specific,
marinate.
How could you not?
I'll give you the specifics. Jason hit me up.
Okay.
Bartiz.
And let's say Jason works at, where could Jason work? The hospital.
Foot Locker. Okay.
He works at the hospital.
The hospital.
Jason works at the hospital.
Scrubs? You mean Seinfeld at the
Yeah,
hospital?
Seinfeld at the hospital. Yeah.
It's not true.
He works at a radio station. Oh, Frasier? Seinfeld at a radio station with fancy people?
Stop it.
Jason works at a hospital. Now, before he met his fiancée, he used to randomly hook up with Jessica, one of the hot nurses.
Oh, nurses scrub butts.
So
Attaboy.
Jason, the doctor,
Scrub butts.
used to hook up with Jessica,
She was a social
the
worker.
nurse. Now, Jason's in a relationship.
Okay.
His fiance knows that he works at the hospital with Jessica, the nurse that they used to hook up before they dated, before they were engaged.
Hook up or date?
I think it said hook up, but like friends with benefits type of thing.
Gotcha. Nuance.
Now, let's just say the fiance never really felt so good about Jessica. Like always felt like Jessica was like a little into Jason.
Yeah.
And she said, hey, listen, if you ever like hang with Jessica outside of work, or you ever see Jessica, or if there's ever anything, just
If she crosses the line.
she crossed the line, just please tell me. And he's like, Sure, honey, I'm Dr. Jason. Of course I tell you.
I'm with you now.
I'm with you now. That was a long time ago. Now, let's just say it was someone's birthday party and they went out for work after the birthday party and Jessica, the nurse, shows up. They're doing shots and drinking.
Yeah, they are.
And she's being all flirty with Jason. It's like, remember back in the day when we used to fuck? He's like, yeah, I'm an engaged man now. I'm Jason, the engaged doctor.
I'm a good man. Recovered.
Now, when Jason goes home and his wife's like, how is Dr. Doug's birthday gathering?
Oh, Dr. Doug Ross?
Who was there? What was it? Was it fun? Essentially, does Dr. Jason need to tell his fiance that Nurse Jessica was there doing shots and flirting with him? And to what extent does he say that Jessica was there? Does he say Jessica was there, we talked?
Well,
Does
she
she
works
say
with him,
Does she
right?
say Jessica was there, talk to me, and while talking to me, reference when we used to fuck?
I have a thought.
Like, to what extent does Jason tell his current situation?
And we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
And more tomorrow.
We'll get to that and more tomorrow.
I think we figured out who we were, though, finally, by the end of the show. We're Zach and Slater, but like after like a day at the beach. So it's like this would be
like,
Slater's beach hair.
Who
Like,
am I? Am I Mr. Belden?
yeah.
You're Rod Belding.
I'm Rod Belding.
The brother.
Because you get out of the ocean, your hair just looks different. Like, yeah, what's up, Preppy?
Yo, what's up, Slater? I'm sorry, do you go by Sanchez now?
Sanchez.
No, Mr.
Going by my real name.
What was Mr. Testaverde? Who was the driving teacher? Or the history? What was his name?
That was just fucking Seinfeld for
the
teenage
chubby guy.
kids. Yeah.
Shut up.
I never watched anybody.
So there was a
Seinfeld for little kids.
So think about that for tomorrow.
That was a good one.
Mr. Tuttle.
Think about that for tomorrow.
Omitting is lying.
Let's say you used to hook up with some girl at work, or your fiance or wife used to hook up with some dude at work, and let's say there's a gathering, a party, this and that. You're not there.
It's a bigger question, though. The
And
bigger
they're all
question is,
like,
if your significant other says, if
into it now,
blank
stop.
ever happens, you have to tell me.
Yes.
That's a very specific request.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
Okay.
That's
if you
really what it
ever
comes
if you
down
ever
to.
bump into Jessica,
Yeah.
tell me. This guy bumped into Jessica, but he feels like bringing it up to his fiance will cause unnecessary conversation.
Marinate on that.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Ruminate,
Thank you,
marinate. All the
Jay
eights.
Hardiman, 7. All the Lisas, all the Joshes,
Oh,
the
it's
Jim
Jay
Ramseys,
Hardiman.
all the Daves, all the Castillos, all you guys hanging out with us. Josh Pointer, pointing at you, brother. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Have a happy Halloween. Remember, we're going to make it a November to remember. So subscribe and join us every day on Patreon. Raw and Real, Unleashed. Spot is like, who even knows who Spot is nowadays? Like,
I mean,
his life is crazy.
what's the big revelation for November
You
going to
don't
be?
want to miss.
Oh, who knows?
I mean, if November is going to be anything like October, craziest
Just you
month
wait.
yet.
I got
Just
things
you
on
wait.
standby. Just you wait.
So,
Oh, it's
thank you
November.
guys for hanging out with us
sign
today.
out.
Hope you had a nice weekend. Enjoy your Halloween. Enjoy the trick or treaters, and enjoy your parades and all the stupid shows we were
Enjoy.
talking about. Cabinet of Curiosities, Love Is Blind, all that
Yeah.
shit.
Well-
Enjoy your Monday Night Foosball. We'll be talking about it on Fox Sports Radio. But subscribe to our Patreon. Tell your friends about it. We appreciate it more than anything.
In November, Spot's going to be stuffing more than turkeys.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Extra buns on the table this year.
Oh boy.
All right.
Rock this wig from now on.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, you do it. Spot, you should go on a date with that wig on and see if someone notices.
Sure. Oh, your hair looks.
It looks different than your Instagram. It's my new look.
I forget what my regular hair looks like.
Are we gonna wear this on Fox today?
You should.
I don't know. For what reason?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's.
It'll just be like our new look.
I mean, come on. Either way, thank you guys again. It's a free show, so send it to your friends if you want. I hope you enjoyed it. And
Don't forget, Fox Sports Radio later today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
see you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween from Covino and Rich.